Hello and welcome. Today we are going to be doing a 5e live play of Uncharted territory. Our story picks up with 5 unlikely companions standing at the edge of a small town. The town of Lufkin is the edge of civilization. To the west, there's wilderness about as far as the eye can see, and off in the distance, about 3 days' travel, you can see the faintest smudge of a tree line. The 4 of you stand there with a tall figure in your midst. He's well dressed. He has gear that is immaculately kept, and he is huffing impatiently as he waits for the rest of you to check your belongings. Jareth, what are you checking before you leave?
Well, I imagine that he's probably checking the small cart that he has, just to kind of make sure that it's going to be prepared enough to enter the woods if he can, pulling things up off of the sides to kind of narrow down its profile a little, things like that. And he's just kind of being kind of fastidious, just going over little details here and there, just making sure he's got everything in order, checking his trunk 2 or 3 times.
Thalia, you're standing near Jareth. What are you doing?
Talia is kind of tapping her foot impatiently. She's pretty light as far as travel is concerned. She just has a small sack she carries on her back with food and some very basic supplies. Outside of that, she carries basically no extra gear other than her weaponry. She's kind of nervously flitting a knife, just kind of up and down her coat, just waiting for everybody to check their multitude of stuff while she waits.
Harry, what are you doing as the rest of these puny people?
Carrie stands there kind of looking down at everybody else and make sure that her shirt was properly stored. Checks her maul, makes sure she's got her backpack, but she's been ready for a while. She wants to get on with it. She wants to see what's going to happen. See how the day goes. Hurry up, everyone. She kind of leans over them.
Asha, the 7.5-foot tall barbarian, seems impatient. What are you doing?
Asha's lost in morning prayer. She has a dagger in one hand and a metal plate held in the other. And as you watch, she would flick it across one hand and drop several pieces of blood, several drops into the center of the plate, which would start to glow as the sun's light reflects off her skin, causing this plate to heat up and the blood to sizzle and drift away in bits of smoke. And she's muttering something under her breath, something that no one else can hear. And as the barbarian hurry up, she ignores her and takes her time as she needs to, before taking the plate and sliding it back into her satchel and putting the knife at her belt and standing up. Sorry to make you wait. Let me go now.
Well, I am glad that you have all finished with your little goings-on. If that is quite enough, we should be off. Well,
lead on. This is your expedition, is it not?
Indeed. We'll be going onwards to the west. Oh, I don't take the front. That's why I hired you guys.
Gareth kind of turns and looks towards the massive barbarian. It doesn't say anything. Just kind of raises an eyebrow.
Talia does the same.
She looks back at them. And she's like, well, do we have a hunter or a scout in the group?
We were supposed to have one, but he had some sort of family emergency or something. I don't know, something happened. All I got was a letter saying you couldn't make it.
And while it is that I'm quite skilled with finding my way, that is with my navigator's tools, and I do not think that they will help here. And he kind of looks through the thick brush ahead.
Asha would kind of grunt. I suppose that I can take the lead if it is necessary. I've spent many long days, years even, training myself in this harsh condition. If it so be that I need to take the lead, I may.
I think perhaps I would be best taking the rear.
Excellent. Then onward we go.
I'll watch your backs.
And Asha would just kind of make her way to the front. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Asha would make her way to the front, passing this cartographer, and give him this look like, so we're basically your babysitters, and continue past him, stepping into the trees, spear kind of spinning out in front of her, cutting whatever she needs to out of the way, kind of like a machete, but giving her more distance in front of her to see than a machete would.
Carrie keeps an eye out, kind of towards the rear and towards the sides. With her height, nothing's going to sneak up behind them too easily, and she can kind of see what's going on up front, except for the vegetation.
You begin moving towards the brush ahead of you, this dirt track that's barely trodden. And you suddenly hear a woman's voice calling out, "Oh, excuse me. Excuse me? Hello? Are you going out there?"
Where does this voice come from? Behind us?
Behind you from the village, there's a middle-aged woman, and she's coming out, kind of clutching at something in her hands. She's worried.
Harry stops for a second and turns to look at her. What do you need?
Well, begging your pardon, but if you're going out there, my Emmett, he went out about a year ago. We had our milk cow run off, and it went towards the wilds, you know. And they say it's haunted, but Emmett he couldn't leave it be. And, well, and he didn't come back. I don't expect him to come back, but if you find him, would you tell me?
How would we know him?
She holds out her hand. She goes, he always wore a yellow kerchief around his neck. Said it was a little bit of sunshine that I'd made him to take with him. Oh, Emmett.
Oh. You said this boy left a year ago?
Oh, no, he wasn't my son. He was my husband. And strapping man. But yes, a year ago.
He's probably dead. If I see him, I'll let you know.
Well, that's all I was asking, ma'am.
Yeah.
Talia, as you say this, you'd hear like a grunt from behind you, and if you turned and looked, Ash would be staring you with daggers in her eyes. Like taking away the last piece of this poor woman's hope. She is pissed. And so she would walk past you, just giving you this dead eye glare the entire way, and step up to this woman. I will make it my personal goal to see if we can find him, miss.
Thank you. It'd mean the world to me just to know one way or the other.
And what might be your name in case we need to ask for you?
Marla. I'm easy to find, though. I'm always over at the mill.
I'll be happy to keep my eyes open, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. You hear a voice clearing from behind you the other direction. It If that is all, madam, we have an important expedition. And you are taking up the time of my hired help. The woman just drops her head and turns to walk away.
Well, we're a right cheery bunch, aren't we? This is going to be a lot of fun.
Ash would look at you, indeed, and turn and walk towards the front.
Well, it's always the fun of the unknown. Uncharted territory, that's where we're headed.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Well then,
think
dear.
Maybe my mule has better manners. And he kind of slaps it, makes it get going.
Well then, dear girl, lady. We should head off.
He would get a couple daggers too before she led the way. Yeah.
Carrie just
And it would
takes up the
probably
rear.
be Asha that would notice it, given the look. But despite like the frank, almost brutishness of her response, Talia would have a beaming smile on her face as they turn to leave.
All right, it'll be about 3 days travel as you go. Is there anything you want to do or say to each other in that time? You're going 3 days westward, and you're coming up on a tree line.
Do we know exactly what the purpose is that we've been hired for? Were we told in specific detail, or?
Yes, you were told, and David Michaels would tell you quite proudly if you asked him again. David Michaels, noted cartographer, maker of maps, discoverer of new lands. We are charting new ground. No one's been there that's lived. No one's come out that we know of. And we are going to map it. Well, I'm going to map it. You're going to help do whatever it is you do. Mostly keep me alive.
Yeah, I think with his introduction that he gives every time, Asha's like doing it with him. She's like, David Michaels, famed cartographer, maker of maps. Just like because he's got his head turned, and then when he like starts to turn around, she'd like stop again and be like, "Oh, we're almost there."
And Carrie would kind of get the joke and sort of almost chuckle to herself, but try to keep a straight face so that David Michaels, cartographer, doesn't get offended.
Yeah, so the terrain that you're traveling across at first is just kind of grass and brush. Nothing that's really higher than about waist height on normal-sized creatures. It's, maybe knee to mid-thigh for Carrie. It's pretty easy going, slight hills, but as you approach the tree line, you can sense that you're on a decline. And you're going down, and it's subtle, but definitely down slightly.
I'm guessing, would this strike us as odd because we've been traveling mostly flat for such a long time now? Or have we been going uphill, or what? Is this like natural?
Roll nature.
Nature.
Anybody who wants to can roll nature.
Nature is intelligence-based, yes? I believe. Yes, intelligence-based.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a 17 for me.
You feel like this is probably a natural, anybody who's above a 15 feels like this is probably normal. But as you go down, you notice things are getting a little squishier. And you suspect that you might be entering some sort of a marshland where all the water collects.
Well, do you think it seems to be going down?
Yes, you're very astute.
Maybe we'll find a river or something. Pretty hot out here.
I would rather find a road, if at all possible.
Yeah, I can see that.
Nonsense. There are no roads where we're going.
Oh,
Don't expect me to carry your cart or your
Wonderful.
mule.
no, maybe just my trunk.
We'll
The mule
see.
I'll shoot.
It's very pragmatic of you.
It's only a donkey. It wouldn't offend you, would it? Oh dear, I would hate to offend someone.
Carrie's not
I'm
easily
sure you would.
offended. Not so sure about Talia.
Well, do whatever it is you like, so long as you are keeping your end of our bargain. Now,
Just
Under-
don't get us lost.
lost, my dear. That's half the point. We get ourselves lost and we find our ways back and we make the maps. Well, I make the maps. You keep me alive.
If we don't survive, how are we going to make the maps, as you say?
That's what you're here for. That's why I'm paying you.
Lucky me. I can't wait to make the maps then.
No, see, you're not. Never mind.
Oh, that's right. You make the maps because you're David Michaels, famed cartographer, maker of maps.
Now you've got it.
By all
Oh,
means,
I'm confused.
Please continue.
I'm
because
confused here. Which one of you makes the maps? It hasn't been clearly stated yet, and I'm confused.
My dear girl. You well. In the head? Is she well in the head?
While I find this
Only half
witty
is-
banter, well, we'll just call it banter. While I find this incredibly entertaining, I do want to make sure that we are being paid by the day, correct?
Yes, of course. Whatever it was that was said agreed upon in the letter, slips my mind at the moment.
Then by all means,
I-
please continue.
I'm quite sure you'll remember when the time comes. And Carrie stands a little closer and kind of looks down at him.
Yes, I'm sure I will.
Thank
I
you.
have a secretary who usually sends all these things and takes care of it. But anyhow, shall we continue? Onward.
Let's make some maps. And then she start walking through the swamp again.
Let's get lost and find something cool.
So you're walking forwards and you enter kind of Asha into this tree line, and the ground beneath your feet is it's starting to get pretty muddy. You're seeing puddles amidst the plants, amidst the underbrush, and it's darker. The trees are closing over. You can feel flies starting to swarm around all of you, little midges and mosquitoes, that annoying sound. You continue into the swamp, maybe an hour, pretty uneventfully. But I need everybody to roll the perception check. Nat 20, well done, Jeff. Ooh. Okay. So we've got a 10, a natural 1, a natural 20, and a natural 19. Here, I'll roll for David. Not great, with a 9. So let's see. Asha, you were in the lead, correct? Okay. So as you're going, you notice some of the plants are just really weird, and there's a big one that looks like it's turning its head. Do plants have heads? And Talia, you see this as well, clear as day. You see this plant, and it feels like it's turning its head slightly as you near it. You're currently all about, I'd say, Asha, if you're in the lead, you're about 15 feet from it.
And how big is it?
Oh, it's a big plant. I'd say it's about 5 to 6 feet tall.
I would... Seeing this, I would act nonchalantly, because, I mean, I don't know how intelligent wildlife is here, so, like, don't want to give anything away. But, like, I'd turn back and my voice would be very calm, and I'd be like, that plant is looking at us, I believe.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
The starvation and the boredom must be getting to me. Did you say the plant was looking at us?
Oh, it's turning to look at us. 5 foot, 6 foot, just 10 feet ahead of us right now.
Well,
Natalia would point up a finger right at it. He's not crazy, at least. Well, if he is, we're both crazy. I saw it as well.
Talia, because you have a natural 20, you are the one who notices that in this kind of marshy water, the ground where you're walking, there's areas that are solid and there's areas that are water. And in the kind of marshy water, there are a few bubbles near Ash's foot. She's still on ground, but maybe 5 feet from her foot, where the edge of the water is, there are some bubbles. And it looks like something mossy is moving.
Yeah, seeing that, she would look over to Asha, say, hold for a second, and kind of point there. Some movement in the water, bubbles from some source. It could just be air, but it could be something else. Watch your steps.
And the moment she points it out to me, I'll turn and look. Do I see the bubbles too?
Yes.
Okay. Immediately, the spear is in a two-handed grip.
Roll for initiative.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And just go ahead and put your initiative into the chat. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Talia, you were the first to react because as Asha hefts her spear into the hand, a gray-green hand comes up and grabs her ankle. It is Talia's turn.
Yeah, when she saw the moving plant and then the bubble, she was already reaching for her bow. As soon as the hand goes up, it's already in her hand. An arrow at the ready. Sends two back-to-back quick shots. The first one is going to be a 26, which I'm going to guess will probably do it. The second one is
just
going to be a
barely.
12.
The 12 will not
Will a
hit.
12 get there?
No.
All right. So that is going to be 9 piercing damage then, as an arrow is just loosed straight at this thing. The second shot goes by, but he's trying to make sure she doesn't shoot Asha in her leg, and she overcompensates the second arrow not hitting.
Asha, it's your turn. You are not mechanically grappled, but you have a hand on your ankle, and you just saw 2 arrows whiz past, one splashing into the water and sticking up, and the other sinking.
I'm gonna chop the hand off.
Make
So
an attack.
I'm gonna jab my spear down into it, and that's a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
So I'm two-handing it right now. So that's a D8 damage. So that's a 5 plus 3. So that's 8 points of damage for the first attack.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna like grab it and twist it to try and cut through the hand. And the second attack is a 16 plus 6,
That'll
so 22.
Yeah, definitely.
And the second attack is an 8 plus 3, 11.
Carrie, you're standing there and you can't see really what's happening. They're stabbing. There seems to be some sort of dark green blood maybe oozing out from this hand. What do you do?
So she can't actually see the hand?
You can see the hand. You can't really see what it's attached to. The water is too murky. But you could still make an attack if you would like.
Yes. She would go ahead and grab out her bow and fire a couple of quick shots out, I guess, at the hand. Or
sure, you can
whatever
aim for the bulk of the water as well.
Okay. And her first one is going to be 20, not a natural 20, but 20.
Mm-hmm.
And the damage will be 7.
Okay.
And the second one is also 20. I rolled two 16s. And the damage is 3.
Excellent.
So she just kind of fires a couple of them off and hits something anyway, which makes her happy.
Jareth, are you towards the back of this little caravan at this point?
If the rest of them have kind of rushed forward to engage whatever this is, then yeah, I would imagine that the cart is still kind of somewhat mired down a little, and so he's a little ways back, and he kind of is straining to see what exactly is going on. And when he notices that it's this grotesque kind of hand that is reached out, grabbing a hold of them, he just screams. And he climbs into the back of his cart and starts to hide behind his seat while he fiddles with his light crossbow.
Roll perception.
$19.
You notice that David is cowering behind the cart.
Good show. You shouldn't scream like that. It might draw its attention.
So this creature will rear up, and as it comes up, Carrie, it's got to be at least as tall as you are. It's very big. It has bulging kind of growths on its arms. It looks like maybe it's got moss for hair. It's got these dark, small eyes. They're almost like black beads, and they're just shooting around, darting from one person to another. Let's see. Asha, you are the only one currently in melee with it. And so...
Oh, joy.
Unfortunately...
Sounds like a good thing.
Unfortunately, it's going to make all 3 of its attacks against you. We'll just... what's your AC?
AC 15.
AC 15. Okay. So the good news is that the bite and 1 claw hits. The bad news is that the javelin in the other hand was a natural 20. So that's going to be... Ooh, that's not good. That is going to be 21 points of piercing damage. As this thing, it comes up, it kind of almost leans forward to take a bite out of you, claws you across the shoulder, but it almost misses with that hand. And then this javelin, which you didn't notice at first, comes up and strikes you.
Oh.
Oh man, that natural 20 is brutal. Talia, it is your turn. If you would like to make a nature check or something to see if you can figure anything out about it, you can. That will not count against you.
Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, that's a 16 on the die, so 18 total.
It's big. It reminds you of something. You can't quite place it. It might come to you soon. But you feel like you've seen something similar to this before. It's your turn. You can see this thing. It's standing about eye level right now with Asha because it's up to its knees in water. If it were on even footing, it would be taller than Carrie.
Yeah, Talia's gonna take just a step backwards away from it, bringing up her bow again. Just like trying to look at this thing. It's just right on the edge of her mind, like what this thing might be, but it's just not quite there. But she still knows that it needs to be dealt with. She's going to fire off 2 shots. One is going to miss with a 9. The next is going to be a 21, which should get there. It's going to be for 12 piercing, actually, max damage.
Well done.
There's just another 2 quick rapid-fire shots.
Asha, this huge creature holding the javelin in its hand is almost roaring in your face as you're half doubled over in pain. It's your turn.
So I pre-rolled. Do 25, 19, and 15 hit?
Yes, no.
Okay, so no for the third. Let's see. 2d6. So first attack's going to be 6 points of damage. Second attack's going to be 5 points of damage. And then... yeah, let's just do that. So that's going to be... I'll use my bonus action, use a key point to take the dodge action. So it has disadvantage on attacks on me on its next turn.
Okay. As you're striking out against it, you can tell it's hurting. It's very wounded. And it's angry. Carrie, It's your turn. Oh, go ahead.
Carrie, seeing this wonderful big monster in front of her, threatening her companions yet, just gets really, really angry at it and just goes rushing in, grabbing out her maul in both her hands, and she's finally a worthy opponent. And she just takes a big old swing with that thing, and I'm assuming a 23 will hit.
Yes.
Yes, and that would be 9 damage on the first attack.
Describe how you kill it.
All right. Well, she just swings and it goes into the main mass kind of body of this thing, and it just goes mushing right through it with all her strength behind it.
Yeah, there's a thud with a bunch of cracks as you hear what you presume must be a rib cage crunching underneath the weight of your maul.
Oh, that was too easy. I was expecting a challenge.
Ashia's just bleeding on the ground. And she just looks up at you and just shakes her head before pulling herself to her feet on her spear.
Ash, are you all right?
Suddenly, this crossbow bolt just flies past you guys into the dead corpse of this creature. And you're like, yes! Yes! Every time.
Oh, good shot. Good shot.
Oh, no
I
need
know
to
you
thank
can
me?
do it, Jareth.
Well done, everyone.
As the
What
two people
happened?
are hiding, like emerge from behind the cart, I just like look at both of them, and just those dagger stares again, and she's just shaking her head, kind of rolls the thing off into the muck, and just starts walking again without saying anything.
Oh, excuse me. The large one. What is your name again?
My name is Carrie. Carrie Stonecrusher.
Yes. Oh, that's apt. Carrie, would you mind just pulling that crossbow bolt out of that creature and handing it back to me?
All right. And she reaches in and grabs it and gives it a yank.
You're very kind.
So,
If you're lucky, she doesn't
Talia.
break it.
Talia, as Carrie is bending over, it suddenly hits you. This thing is built like a troll. Carrie, a massive claw comes raking across you for 8 damage.
Oh, there's some fight left in it after all.
We're back
All
to
right,
the top
it's
of the
on.
order with Talia.
So would that knowledge be accompanied with the meta knowledge of what trolls are typically
You have seen trolls
vulnerable
before.
to in such situations?
You feel like if it is related to a troll, that might be the only way to keep it dead.
Yeah, and seeing the thing just like leap back up and grab and reach out, that would kind of just solidify it in her mind. It's a troll. I'll try to keep it down. And with that, she's just going to try to put it out again. So hopefully somebody else, aiminess, can do something. Pulls out her sword. She's going to try to at least get it back on the ground. And it's going to be an 18 and a 14. So I'm guessing it's just going to be one hit for 11 piercing.
All right. Yeah. Yes. So it goes back down, and it's sort of sinking slightly in this muck that Asha had rolled it into. We're going to keep initiative order. Asha, what are you doing? You heard this thing sort of roar back to life.
Okay. So if you'll allow me to, I'm a monk of the Way of the Sun Fist. So I have an ability that lets me substitute my first attack by like shooting like a beam of like sunlight, like beaming sunlight. So if you'll let me try to attempt to like glint it off my like spear or something to like, I don't know, like magnifying glass it basically. Have you ever done that? You burn like ants with magnifying glass, like kind of like bounce it off. I mean, I have a tinder box. I could lean down and try and start it on fire.
High or low?
High.
Give it a shot.
Okay, sweet. So basically, I just make a ranged attack against something, and if I hit, it takes radiant damage.
Okay.
So I'll just try, I guess. Okay, so that's a 16 to hit. Does that hit?
That hits.
Okay. So basically, it just does radiant damage, which is equal to my martial ability. I mean, not my martial, my monk monastic damage or whatever. So it's a d6. So 4 plus my dex plus 3. So 7 points of damage. And then I guess it's up to you whether or not it does anything to try and light this thing on fire.
You see some smoking. You're not sure if it was on fire or not. But there's a sickening smell. Like if you were trying to cook something over a fire, but there was mildew instead.
Ooh, yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, just to you guys, it just looks like she extends her hand and light wells up within her. And it's this blue kind of radiant sunlight that just shoots from her slamming into this thing. But I mean, it starts a bit of smoke, but not a fire, I guess. So,
Carrie, this thing looks dead, but it looked dead before.
Right. So, I think Carrie's going to try something. Well, I think she's going to try hitting it first. Just keeping it, keeping it squashed down if she can. Does 18 hit?
18 will hit.
Okay, so she whacks it with her maul for another 6 points of damage.
Yeah, this thing, what you can see of it that is semi-floating in this marsh water is pulpy.
Yeah, well, what she's going to do then, if she can, is stick her maul back and grab it and try to grapple it and pull it out of the water so someone can get it on fire.
Absolutely. Make me an athletics check. Just kind of to see if you can haul it out.
Oh, that's a nat 20 plus 7.
You reach down with one hand and you effortlessly pull this thing out. You almost give it a shake like you're cleaning out a rug. You hear a couple things snap that probably shouldn't snap, and then you set it on the ground.
Yeah, I just hold it there. All right, somebody get this thing on fire.
Jareth, what are you doing?
So Gareth has kind of fished down into the bottom of his cart and produced a vial of lantern oil. I think this will work right here. And he's kind of busy uncorking it. And he kind of comes jogging over after he kind of hops down out of this wagon, this cart, and runs over and starts kind of liberally pouring this oil all over the corpse and kind of looking at the rest of them, looking for approval. Yes?
Oh, well done. Yes, excellent. Burn the thing. Always burn your enemies.
Go for it.
One second. And he kind of starts running back to the cart.
Oh, here.
Oh, spot on. And he turns around and runs back. And he kind of kneels down. Oh, it's this. The ground's very wet. Here. And he kind of hands the flint and steel off to someone else.
Now, you guys can light this thing on fire, no problem. It reeks. Oh my gosh, it absolutely reeks. But as it's burning, Talia, you feel confident. It is dead. Really dead. Not coming back dead this time.
And once it gets definitely on fire, Carrie's going to step away from it. She doesn't really need to be burned too.
And David would say as much. I'd rather not stay near that particular stench.
Are we certain that it's safe to pass it? I have heard that flaming skeletons are a thing. So, just in case it gets up again, shouldn't we?
I think I saw one of those in Syriac.
I'll watch over it for you. Don't worry about it. I've got this.
Very good.
It won't be getting up again. I'm fairly confident. This time it should stay where it is.
Yeah, it's just like bleeding. The two of them are like talking about like moving around it because it smells bad. She's like in pain. She's like, let's make map, he says. Let's go through the swamp. Let's move around the corpse, he says. And then she just starts walking, like blazing a trail again.
You look awful. Would you like to take a lie down?
And she would just turn and like look at him and just kind of just shake her head.
Suit yourself. And he'll kind of recline in the seat of his cart.
And sorry, go ahead.
Is everyone moving on ahead? Leaving this burning troll behind?
I think so. I don't think the jungle will catch on fire. It's too wet.
Landmark for finding our way back.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah,
Maybe it'll burn for days until we need to find our way back.
You notice that now that the danger has passed, and David seems to be marking things down. So who's going first? Is it still Asha?
Yeah, she's like pretty good distance out ahead of the party. She's a little bit pissed right now.
Asha, what's your AC?
15. Yeah, give it to me. Give me the pain. I love the pain. I live for the pain.
Asha, you were distracted by this thing. You've completely forgot about the plant that was watching you.
Wait, those are different things? Ah!
The plant had a head. This was Bubbles under the water. So as you're walking, you're well ahead of the party. And then all of a sudden, this green tendril reaches out and it hits the ground next to you. But another one grabs you around the waist.
Is this a ranged attack?
It is.
I am a monk. Can I block it?
You cannot. It was a surprise attack.
Aw.
Okay. So, you are currently grappled. And it is going to try and reel you in. You can make a strength check to try and resist that reel.
I use athletics.
No, sorry, it's a strength check.
Okay.
So you are pulled. Actually, you are pulled all the way up to it. It is not swallowing you whole. Yet, at least. But you were pulled all the way up to it, and you feel little smaller tendrils beginning to wrap around you. Everybody roll for initiative.
Oh, joy. Let's go. Let's do it. And now I get a nat 20. That's perfect.
Ooh. Now's the time to burn your nat ones. You don't want 20s now. Yeah, see, there you go, Jeff. Burn that nat 1 on initiative. Guys, those are terrible initiatives. But you're in luck because the plant is worse than all of you. So let's see, I believe we said that Carrie had the higher dex than Jareth. Was going to go first? Jareth is saying, yes, Carrie, go first.
All right.
So, Carrie, you were maybe 15, 20 feet back, and you just saw this happen.
Yeah. Well, she's going to grab out her big maul and head. Actually, she's going to run up there and just take. I think she's going to take a knife and try to cut him loose.
Okay.
Maybe she'd just try to rip at it with her hands. That might
make
make
an
more
attack roll.
sense. All right, we'll make an attack roll. I got to decide what I'm attacking with. Can I just try to pull it off of him with my hands? Because I have a lot better strength than I do.
Yes, you can try and break the tendril. Make a strength check.
All right. Okay. That comes to a total of 21.
You grab the tendril and rip it off. Asha, you are currently free. As you
get out of the way, Ash. You need to be paying more attention.
As she comes up out of the water with dirty swamp water in her mouth, spitting it out.
Yeah, and I think you should have gone first. I'm sorry, I skipped you. So, Asha,
that's okay.
We'll go back to you. It's your turn.
Oh, that works for me because now I'm free, so I'm okay with that. Yeah, so I'll take several steps back, like kind of just like, how deep is this water?
Where you guys are, it's about knee deep.
Yeah, so she kind of takes several stumbling steps back and falls back into it, water kind of pouring up through her nose and her eyes and her mouth. She comes up and just like spitting it out, and it's like there's like mud streaking across her face, and she does not look happy. So she's gonna lay into this thing, and I'm gonna use a flurry of blows to make 4 attacks against this.
Are you going against the plant or one of the tendrils? There are 2 tendrils currently flailing about.
Let's Let's do one tendril and then the body. So I'll do 2 attacks on one tendril. So
Okay.
that's a 23. Oh my goodness, my attack rolls are on point. 24. So 2 attacks that I'm
Yep.
assuming hit.
Yeah. The AC here is 13. It's a plant.
Okay, cool.
It's not that hard to hit.
So that's 5 plus 3, 3 plus 3. That's 14 points on the one tendril.
Okay. You hit it, and you hit it so hard that you almost slice clean through it with your hand.
Nice. But it's still living though.
The plant is still very much alive.
But is that tendril still working?
That tendril is done for.
Okay, cool. And then I'll make 2 attacks with my spear against the main body. And that's a 14 and a 13.
Those will both hit.
Okay.
Just barely, but they do.
And then 5 plus 3, 8. 5 plus 3, 8, so 16 to the body of the plant.
Excellent.
Yeah, so this is like explosion of blows, just like the spear's whipping out, and then her fist, like she catches it and then kind of like breaks the tendril in half almost by bringing the spear down on it. Just blows after blow after blow.
Jareth, it is your turn.
A quick question.
Yes.
I was supposed to take 2 attacks on my turn. I only took 1.
Oh.
Can I take the other attack now when it's actually my
yes.
initiative order?
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm all kinds of mixed up on the initiative, but go for it.
All right. Well, I'm all kind of mixed up on what I'm supposed to do, so.
And are you attacking the plant or the last tendril that's flailing about?
I'm going to attack the plant, the body of the plant.
Okay.
But I'm going to miss anyway.
13 is your AC.
Yeah. I didn't hit that. It wasn't a very good roll. So Ash is there doing all these crazy magic things, and she's so distracted that she just kind of whiffs past it.
Well, it moves
Good
a
job,
little.
Ash. Keep it up.
Okay, now it's your turn, Jareth.
So, once again, he's going to scream. He's going to roll backwards over his seat again and take a hiding position behind the cover of that seat back. And he's going to grab his crossbow, load it, and make sure that it's at the ready.
Excellent. So now we're back to Talia.
Yeah, Talia is going to reach down, pulling out her sword and dagger, dashing up next to this thing alongside her other companions. With quick slashes, she's going to just go straight for the main body of the plant. 22, 18, and 11, which I think all but the 11 will hit.
Correct.
18 total piercing damage as he just rushes forward with kind of these quick, almost like slash thrusts, almost like a fencing style of attack.
Yeah, you're cutting into it, and it's oozing. I mean, it looks like blood. It's red, which you weren't expecting from a green plant. But its big, bulbous head, which you can see is opening slightly, and it's got... I mean, it looks like a plant, but it looks like it has teeth. Some sort of bastardized version of a Venus flytrap. And it's hurting, but it is still very much trying to eat one of you. And now we're at the plant's turn. And it still has a tendril, and I think since Talia was the last to attack it, it is going to first make an attack with that tendril. Let's see. Talia, you get a pretty high AC. Let me see what the plus to attack is on this. That is going to get you just barely. And it is going to pull you straight into it, straight against it. And then it's going to attempt to bite you. The bite misses. And now we're back at the top with Asha.
I'm going to get rid of this thing's tendrils. I don't like it. So I'm going to do 2 attacks on the tendril, and then we'll see what my third attack does. So that's going to be a miss. That's only a 10. Second attack, that's a 25.
Ooh, yeah.
For 9 points of damage, which I don't believe that kills the tendril, does it?
Not quite. I mean, it's still just kind of limping along.
I'll use my last attack to try and get rid of the last tendril then. And that's going to be a 14.
Okay, that'll hit. And that's the tendril that was holding Talia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's another 6 points of damage.
Excellent. So Talia, Asha comes up and she hits against it, and you're going to drop to the ground. Carrie, you see this play out in front of you, and it's your turn.
Yeah, seeing the tendrils been cut off, and she just goes after the. I'd say maybe sort of like before wherever the teeth are in this thing.
Yeah, hit it in its face.
Yeah, she's gonna hit it in its face with her maul. And you said a AC 13, so
correct.
Her first attack hits for 8 damage.
Okay.
So she smacks it upside the head, and then her next attack she comes back the other way and hits again for another 8 damage. She's trying to smash all the teeth out of it. Yep.
You have definitely gotten a few of the teeth. It's not looking good.
She's like, they don't call me Stone Crusher for nothing. She smacks it around.
Jareth, you have your crossbow loaded and ready.
It isn't made out of stone. He's going to shoot it. Kind of trying to calm himself a little bit, at least on the outside.
Yes, it's quite a bit punier than stone. We can take it out. Don't worry.
Will a 15 hit?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Oh, I'm hidden, aren't I? So I'm going to roll and see if I might, because I should have advantage on the attack if I'm hidden. Unless.
Yeah. No, go ahead. It's a little preoccupied.
I want to see if maybe I get a crit. Nope. Okay. Okay, that's 18 points of damage, piercing.
How do you demolish the plant?
So as they're kind of wailing on it, left and right, he kind of waits for them to all be distracted with different parts of the creature, away from its mouth, preferably. Whenever the barbarian kind of is on her backswing and has her back kind of turned somewhat, he shoots this thing straight in the open mouth, right into the back of its throat, and then very quickly kind of puts his crossbow down. Oh, wonderful job, everyone.
Yeah, the plant shudders for a second, strangely, and then the head just falls over and it slowly sinks to the ground.
Yeah, Talia spins around, wiping the blood off of either side of her sword before thrusting it back into the scabbard, and kind of putting her arms up in kind of almost a light bow towards Jareth. You got the shot off before it died this time. Well done.
Yes, I was thinking that crossbow bolt came while this plant was still alive. Well done. Quite impressive.
Of course, I've killed them both. It's time for a rest. If I had, yes.
Asha would look at the two other women sitting next to her and be like, was it one of you that screamed?
No, not me.
She looked back at David and pointed him.
And Jareth is kind of pushing his thumb towards David.
He's pointing at At this point, I'm not quite sure who I believe, so I just kind of look at the both of them with disapproving stares and then walk back up onto the path.
The swamp water and stuff in your hair, that's a mild improvement.
You actually getting a shot off during the battle is a mild improvement as well.
Well, some of us are built for smashing things with our fists, and others have, better talents.
Like screaming. Or impersonating a little girl.
And map making. But shall we press onwards?
Yes, and map making, always with the map making.
And that's why we're here. You see him kind of writing down and looking where they are.
While he's doing that, Carrie turns to Ash. Ash, could you use a rest? You're looking a little beat up there, girl.
She just grunts and just walks up onto the path and keeps walking.
Do you want me to go first?
Just kind of just waves you away. Just infallible stubbornness.
Are you sure? Maybe I should walk with you. You seem to like just attract these things.
You guys can walk side by side. There's enough kind of dry-ish land. It's not water for you to do that, or if you're just wading through.
So is this kind of like a causeway almost, like in between two large bodies of water? Like not quite in the water, but
A little bit.
but
You're
still
able to,
mushy. Yeah, okay.
yeah, that right now that's the only reason that the cart is able to sort of keep coming along, is you've been able to find something resembling solid land. It's pretty muddy, but the mule is strong.
Okay. Yeah, so she would definitely like be willing to let Carrie like kind of like walk next to her. And now she's kind of like paranoid, like she's like looking like everywhere, like glancing all about, like trying to make sure that nothing gets another jump on her.
Roll survival. You and Carrie both.
Oh, not like this. Okay, well that's good. I got a 17 plus 3, so 20.
19 here.
All right. The pair of you are walking, and you come to an area that's got more water covering it, but it's only a couple inches, so it's widening out where the land is, but it's also slightly getting wetter. And something in you says stop walking. And maybe it's just instinct, but you take your spear, I believe you had in your hand, Asha, and you just tentatively poke at the solid-looking mud that's beneath the 1 to 2 inches of water. And your spear is almost pulled in by this suction.
Asha takes this in and looks down at her already muddy body and like looks to see if there's another way to go besides straight through here.
Yeah,
Or do we have
if
to
you
double
guys
back?
if you guys want, you can, like right now you got kind of this quicksand mud in front of you. You can wade through the water off to the other side. It's maybe waist deep.
Oh yes, because nothing bad lurks in the water.
Now, Carrie's going to poke around in the water off to the right where she's thinking of going with her maul and see if, because it's got about a 4-foot handle on it. So she's holding it by the head and kind of poking with the handle to see if she comes across anything in the water first.
There doesn't seem to be anything in the like waist deep water, but where it's shallow, as far as you can tell, it's all this kind of suction quick mud is what I'm seeing in the chat. Quick mud.
Even if we step off like to the right, we'll step into the quick mud before we get to the deep water, or is it immediately just
No,
deep?
you can make it. You can make it. You can kind of edge your way around. It's not all quick mud, and there are some solid spots. So I'm assuming you're warning the people behind you to not walk into it.
You'll have to come over here. That's some nasty sucking mud up ahead there where it looks so shallow and nice. And I think it seems safer over here.
So you're wanting us to go through the deeper water?
It is a little deep. You may have to leave your cart.
You've got to be kidding.
Well, it's not going to swim.
The cart? No, I don't think it's going to swim, dear.
No, I don't either.
Right.
Oh, come now, what's the problem? And you see David is pulling out of his pack. It looks like waders made of this oiled leather, and he's like putting them on. He's like, come on, where's the adventure? And he like ties them off, and they come up to his armpits.
You didn't bring a second pair of those, I don't suppose, did you?
No.
David? No, David, you didn't? That was very selfish of you.
It's my expedition.
Carrie's like, Jareth, if you want to stick your pack somewhere, you can strap it on my back where it's out of the way. I can help you carry your stuff over anyway.
Very well. All right. And he kind of turns around and starts kind of messing with stuff and unhooking the mule, stowing some of his gear away. And he kind of reaches into the back, kind of grunts. Kind of scoots this chest to the back of the wagon and kind of slaps it. There you are, Carrie. I appreciate it very much.
Don't know that I want to carry the whole town.
Oh, no. No. This is just my most prized belongings.
I think you prize a few too many things here, even for me.
Well, there obviously is not much that you carry with you. You can't even carry clothing, apparently.
I don't need a lot of clothing. It's so hot here.
That's very true.
I came from the mountains, where it's cool and fresh. Not this hot, horrible. Ugh. She kind of shivers.
You are incredibly chipper. So you're not going to carry my trunk, then? That's what I'm hearing you say.
You hear for shame from the front of the group.
She kind of leans over and tries to pick it up. And how would I need to know, like, how heavy would it be? I mean, just not by pounds, but just how much of a burden is this going to be, and how big is it? So that is she going to be able to move unencumbered? Is the question.
It's 12 square feet, so it's 3 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot.
Okay, cubic feet. Okay.
Yeah, it's 12 cubic feet. It's about the size, because I googled this before the game. It's about the size of one of those big kind of standalone freezers, like the kinds that just sit on the ground, the big ones.
My chest freezer's a lot bigger than 2 by 2 by 3.
Yeah,
a lot. So it'd be a lot smaller than that. We do have, I just basically, if the size is small enough that it could be strapped onto her and she'd still be able to attack things, then she'd be fine.
I'll say that you can do it. You can strap it on and you can attack. But if you are attacking and you still have this on, you're either not going to be able to make a second attack or you're going to be at disadvantage when you do.
All right. I think what she's going to do is to tie it on with a quick release knot in front. Like you would to tie a horse. Where you just pull the thing and it drops off.
Sure.
That way she can dump it if she needs to, but she can haul it when it's reasonably convenient.
Yeah, Jareth, how heavy is this thing? You said, what, 300 pounds?
That is the carrying capacity.
Oh, that's the carrying capacity. Okay.
Yeah. It's not nearly
of a Goliath
full.
Or of the trunk?
No, of the trunk.
Okay.
As far as just out of the book. So, to be truthful, like it's not overly heavy. I would say
it's 2 feet by 2 feet by 3 feet, and not that heavy.
If it's not full of stuff, then we'll go ahead and say you're under your carrying capacity, and we'll just move on. And Carrie has a chest strapped to her back.
And she doesn't even care. In a pinch, she can probably grab one of the people and carry them too, but she's not going to mention that.
You see that David is very carefully making sure all the lids on his kind of waterproof containers are secured for all his map things. Well then, shall we go onward?
Gareth kind of swings his leg up and over the mule after like his third or fourth attempt. Okay, yes, I'm ready to go. And he kind of nudges her forward. Come on. Chip, chip, chip. What's the damn word? Yip. Go. Come on. Forward.
Are you putting the mule into the water?
It's my attempt.
Roll animal handling.
I would like to roll with disadvantage.
Can I give him disadvantage by swatting the mule on the backside?
Yeah, disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
I don't think it likes you anyways. Disadvantage. I don't think it likes you.
No, I don't imagine.
Your companions aren't helping.
That's a 7 total.
This thing sits down.
You always were an ass. I don't mean that to be funny.
Aww.
He gets off, like, trying to pull his foot out from under its flank. Very well. Someone shoot her, please.
Aww.
Very well. Stay here and die a very miserable death. He kind of turns and walks over to where David is kind of about to get in the water. And he kind of, so this is safe. Yes.
Seems to be
Almost
so
certainly
far.
not. But onward. For the sake of the maps,
Yes.
we must press on.
The maps. Certainly not the gold. And he kind of gingerly wades into the water, wincing.
Carrie keeps probing around. This time she's holding the handle of the ball and kind of poking with the head of it, so if she needs to, she can pull it up and smack something.
Now, you guys can all get in, I presume? I mean, David's going to start walking now that he's not the first one in. Talia, are you getting in? Asha?
Man, I was hoping I had the ability to walk on water already, but I don't think I do.
If you have that at level 5, that is way OP.
Yeah, I don't think I do yet. I don't think I get it till... I don't know. I'll have to see it. I think it's level 9 that I get it, so never mind. I guess I
It's
slog
like
into the water.
10. It's like 9 or 10.
Yeah, I think it's 9. Yeah, I'll just slog into the water then after them. I'm like looking at like David's pack, like trying to figure out like what he actually carries in there. If he's got these giant boots, or like whatever they're called, water waders or whatever. I'm like looking at his pack, like trying to determine what exactly is in there, looking for any sign of what he actually is carrying that is worthwhile to our endeavor.
He has all his map making stuff. He does have a sword, to be fair. He has a long sword hanging at his side. He has never touched the hilt of it that you've seen.
Does it look brand new?
You don't know. It hasn't been unsheathed yet.
Yeah, I'd like very cautiously kind of like walk up to him and like act like I'm going to take the lead and kind of lift the longsword out a little bit to check the blade to see if he's going to be any use at all in a fight if it comes down to it.
For this much of the blade, it looks unscathed that you can see.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I step past him, just like shaking my head, like why did I agree to this? But yeah, I'll move into the lead again, not letting our brilliant map maker, cartographer, maker of maps, David Michaels, take the lead.
You guys will probably spend about 15 or 20 minutes you're at half speed, so maybe closer to 30, just slogging through the suction on your feet underneath. It's nasty. The water smells terrible. Maybe like something died in it. You're not sure. It does not smell good. But you eventually come to kind of the edge, and you can sort of clamber your way back out.
Ah, that cooled me off a little bit. It wasn't that bad. You guys were all worried.
She turns around and Jareth has 2 small sections of cloth that he's torn from somewhere and rolled them and stuffed them up his nostrils. Yes, it was wonderful. Are you going to put all this information on the brochure?
Oh, yep. It'll lots of good things on the map.
Oh, wonderful. You're sure to draw a lot of attention.
Jareth, I wasn't aware that your own scent bothered you. I thought people became accustomed to those sorts of things.
You really shouldn't try wit. It's not your style.
Oh, well.
Carrie
I do my
laughed.
best.
That one got me.
Oh, man.
So you guys are on drier ground, but your relief at that is short-lived because you can see it just kind of slopes back down. You don't have to climb down into the water, but it just sort of slopes like a big puddle back into knee and waist deep water as you keep going.
And Carrie continues to be poking down there and kind of stay up with Ash because she's not totally sure. It seems like everything wants to kill Ash.
Yeah, what's the marching order?
I guess we've got Asha and Carrie in the very front. Followed by who? Who was it? David or Talia?
I don't know if David would be second, but he's definitely not last.
Yeah, the way that I kind of imagine it is that it's like Carrie and Asha in the front. Then like Jareth and David are like back, and Talia's kind of making up the middle ground between them, trying to keep some semblance of connection.
All right. As you're going, I want perception checks from everybody. Which is always a good sign. Asha, maybe it's because you're the most on edge and you're the most injured. You see bubbles again, but they're not in one place, and there seems to be almost a spread of them. And it looks like maybe something slightly coming out of the water. And a lot of somethings. A dozen? 2 dozen? You can't tell. And they're coming towards you. Roll for initiative. Yeah, we'll take a quick bio break here with the unknown something or somethings headed towards you. And I'll get the initiative ready, and we'll come back in about 4 or 5 minutes. Sound good? Hello, hello. I've got a few people hanging in the chat. Jeff, one of them, has pointed out that due to the way the Hangouts border is set up, they can only see the very top of your head. I don't know if you would like to move your camera or not.
That's what I was saying earlier. He always reminds me of Wilson from Home Improvement.
And not only that, there's a slight tendency. No, your whole window is all the way down at the bottom, so that half your head is cut off by the fact your window's sitting with all our faces over the top of it. I know you do it on purpose.
I moved my camera down on purpose.
I was gonna say I think that's the wrong direction. And yes, Jeremy, that's the idea. It's the spoof. Well done. I'm glad you caught my bit of a stretch, subtle pun. All right, we all back? Already? I've got the initiative written up. Shockingly, David is the first to go. Yes, bubbles. So, David is the first to go. Asha, do you say anything as you see these bubbles?
Yeah, I would kind of just like I'd look at them for a second, kind of like trying to comprehend, and then I'd see that they're everywhere, and I kind of like give like a shout and kind of like start pointing out all the bubbles along like where they're all coming from.
Yeah, so they appear to be coming kind of from your north. You guys have been moving west, and you're in this area of water. And these are kind of in the north of you, and they're moving downwards towards you. David, seeing these bubbles, his eyes get big, and he is going to book it as fast as he can, south and west, still going sort of the same direction, but also away from these things. He's double moving. Carrie. Or, sorry, Asha. No, Carrie's up. I had it right the first time.
Asha hasn't gone?
I think Asha rolled a 13.
Oh, okay. I do go first. Awesome.
I had it written down on my paper, and then I was in the chat, and I was all confused.
Gotcha. Is there anything but bubbles at this point?
Not that you can see. Bubbles. They're moving towards you. And there seem to be something.
That'll be a 17 on that roll. Or am I looking? Yeah. Never mind. That was for something else. The chat confused me. How odd. It's time for the musical, isn't it? Like, we break out into song and dance.
You're not all dead yet. No musical until the TPK.
Dang, better get with it then. Carrie's just going to take her big old maul, and she's just going to smack it in the water where there's a trail of bubbles in case she hits something.
Okay.
It can be good.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably still about maybe 15, 20 feet away.
Okay, never mind then. We can't do that.
Yeah, they're still approaching you. Thanks to Asha's perception roll, you saw them before they got to you. So you have a round to do something.
Is there any place to go besides where we are? Like a bit of high ground nearby, or a tree we could climb, or...
No, you are in the water. It's maybe 200 feet to the nearest bit of land. That's where David is kind of making a beeline towards as far as you can tell. He's just going towards the other side, but you guys are at half speed in the water.
Carrie's like, well, we're supposed to protect him, aren't we? Because, this water isn't all that deep for her. But she's like, you go, I'll deal with it. It's just a jolly day in the swamp, right? She's going to back up, like sort of sidle off in the direction David went, but she's going to be facing She's going to be facing these bubbles as they come and have her maul at the ready. I think she'll ready an action to attack if they get too close, or she sees anything she can attack.
Okay. Asha, it's your turn.
Okay. Yeah, only half speed if someone had way bypass that. So anyways, well, good news for me, being the monk that I am, I can dash twice in a turn. So I'm gonna take the dash action.
Okay.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Wait, so are they like in a long distance around us? Like they're coming from like in front of us, behind us, and on the sides, or what?
No, you are not surrounded
Okay.
yet.
I'll dash and keep up. I'm just gonna dash once this time, but I'm gonna keep up with our fantastic map maker David Michaels, cartographer extraordinaire, and just stay as close to him as I can.
Excellent. So these bubbles, they are approaching. They're fast. And as they get closer, you can see it's something maybe the size of a snake. A dozen, maybe 24 of them. But they're white, worm-like, disgusting, as they kind of jump through the water, half swimming, half leaping. Let's see. I think, Carrie, since you were turning to face them anyways, you're going to be the first one that comes. First one they try and hit.
But I do have a ready action.
You do have a ready action, so as they come into range, go ahead and make your attack.
Okay, let's see. Will 18 hit?
An 18 will hit.
Okay, and that's 9 points of damage.
Okay, you kind of swing your maul down, and it's a big splash of this putrid water. But you think you hear a little as something gets squashed, perhaps by the force of the blow.
But I don't get a really good look at it. I just some sort of ugly snaky.
And there are a lot of
thing.
these. So there's going to be an attack against Carrie first. Carrie, what's your AC?
It would be 16.
Okay, so this thing kind of comes, you feel some of them coming for you, and they come and they're trying to get and bite at your skin, but you're swinging your arms, and so they can't get a hold. Let's see. Say, Jeff, odds or evens?
Even.
That was a good choice. Jareth, you feel these things coming towards you as well. Does a 17 hit you?
Easily.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my reaction
Okay.
to use Uncanny Dodge to have the damage that comes in at me.
Okay, does that have any damage or just like regular damage?
I don't think it delineates. I think it just says, but let me check.
It affects one attack, I believe.
Okay. So you're going to take 7 piercing damage and 14 necrotic damage halved. So that's 3 piercing and 7 necrotic. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
So the 10 points of damage, and on the con save, that's a 2 that I rolled, so that comes out to a total of 1.
So roll a d4 and pray that you roll the correct number.
Well, then let's hope a 4 is a correct number.
A 4 is not the correct number. So one of these things bites into you, and it gets on your forearm. And as you watch in horror, it burrows into your skin. And that's where we'll leave. Let's see, hang on. You. This has a lot of different moving parts. You are going to lose 5 hit points off your maximum. Permanently. Immediately. And it's your turn.
As far as whenever I've had damage, does the damage... That doesn't translate to damage. It just takes off what I can cap at, right?
Right.
Okay.
So right now, you've already taken off your 10 points of damage. Now it'll look kind of like you took off 5 because your maximum is lower. And it's your turn.
Okay, so I mean, I think we all know what as he's like staring down at his arm, like holding it out like it's a foreign object. And he is just, he's almost afraid to even touch his own limb. But he reaches down and starts trying to grab where this thing is burrowing, trying to keep it from going any higher. He kind of panics for a moment and then thinks. He reaches down inside of his belt and pulls a dagger off. And he kind of raises it, and then he stops. He's, what the hell am I doing? And he kind of puts it back in his belt. Somebody do something!
Talia, it's your turn. Whether you saw all this happen to Jareth is up to you.
Yeah, as she sees the swarm coming, she's just gonna turn back and just get out of the water. There's too many. And I am going to dash and then move. Now I have a feat that I took, mobile, which allows me to ignore any difficult terrain for my entire turn whenever I dash. So I will move my full 80 movement between movement and dashing towards the nearest shore.
Yeah. Go for it. It's 80 feet, so you're not there, but you pass. So Carrie and David are up ahead, and David was double moving, but he doesn't get very far with that half speed. So, Carrie, you're almost kind of helping push David along at this point. Since you're so much bigger, your strides are a little longer. And you see, here comes Thalia, and she is booking it. You're not sure if she's part fish or what, but she's moving through this water like it is nobody's business. And we're back to the top with David. He's going to keep moving. Carrie, your turn.
Could Carrie pick him up and dash? She wouldn't get a double dash, but she could dash.
Sure. Why not?
Okay. Her normal movement is 40 feet. I'm going to pick up David. So what do I do? Do I roll anything or just take off and get 40 feet through the water?
Make an athletics check and make sure you don't drop him or fall over backwards with the weight of this trunk still strapped to your back.
That's nothing. That trunk doesn't weigh anything. Athletics. Oh, yes. That'll be a total of 20.
Okay, yeah. You pick him up easily. He almost jumps into your arms when he realizes that's what you're doing. Just that.
It's just kind of like, climb on the chest.
Yes, excellent idea.
That way she can drop him on the chest.
Onward! Onward!
She just takes off as fast as she can dash through the water.
Okay. Gotcha.
So you said he can move. Is he right next to me now, Jareth?
I think you had more movement speed than he did.
So he's probably a little bit behind me.
Okay. Jareth is bringing up the tail.
Are these things coming right behind him, basically, like hot on his tail?
Yeah, they might overtake you.
I step between him and the things. I'm going to take the dodge action as my bonus action, and now just watch. Okay, I pass it off.
Okay, these things are coming, and they will get to you first.
Okay. So here's the thing: the 2 feats I took. Polearm Master. When they enter my range, I get an opportunity attack. Sentinel. If I hit them with an opportunity attack, they can't move anymore.
Does
My
that
reach
work
is
for
10
a
feet.
Swarm?
Yes, it works for
Okay.
anything.
So I wasn't sure. And swarm mechanics can be funky. I didn't know if that works, but let's go for it.
Okay, so how many are there? 2 swarms or just 1 swarm?
It's just 1 swarm mechanically.
Okay, cool. Well, attack. It's a 16 to hit.
I think that will hit.
So that would hit them, stop their movement, put them 10 feet outside my range. They can't move any closer to me. And they take 8 points of damage.
Okay. So you hit them. And what happens is you hit the water, and it is this wave of force. You're a monk. You know how to channel force. And it pushes them back and stuns them all. And they can't move past it. How long are they out of movement?
It just stops their movement as they enter my range. So
okay, just for the round then, I presume.
Yeah. So,
okay.
And I just look at Jareth and I'd yell at him to keep moving, and I'm just going to keep backing up with him, just making it so they can't follow us, basically.
Okay. So Jareth, it's your turn. You have an unexpected friend who is somehow keeping you alive.
So, still shrieking at the top of my lungs, I turn and allow the monk to bravely stand between me and these hideous foes as I begin very, very quickly moving through the water. I'm going to use my action to dash. So that's 70 feet, and then I'm going to use my cunning action as a rogue to also dash again. So that's 105 feet if I'm moving half speed. 50 to 55 feet.
That's half speed?
50 to 55 feet is half speed.
Okay. I was going to say 105 at half speed is crazy.
Oh, no, that's awful.
Okay, so 55 feet. All right, Talia.
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue my just this furious lightning speed, somehow like moving through this water like it's not even there. Another 80 feet dash and then move.
Talia, you can begin to reach some sort of semblance of non-water. It's getting shallower. You're coming up to mud. It seems like you might reach actual land. David and Carrie.
Yes. All right. Now she's getting mad. Are these things close to her?
Not at this point. They have. If you look over your shoulder, you can see what appears to be Asha. Standing guard, holding sentinel?
Somehow holding them back for a turn anyway.
You're not sure how, but...
Okay, well then I guess since Asha seems to have this under some sort of control, she's going to continue to run to get David to the shore because he is, after all, their employer, and she was hired to save his sorry rear. So that's what she's trying to do, and she'll run another dash action for another 40 feet.
Yeah. You can see Talia significantly ahead of you, and you're slogging through, and David is looking over. Onward, yes, onward. He's not helping. Asha.
So what I do is I take the disengage action so they can't keep attacking me. So just like I spin the spear around and splash another huge wave of water, and I turn and run 20 feet and then stop and turn around again and place my feet and just get ready for them to come at me again.
Okay. They come into your area. Make your attack.
Okay. This would be a really bad time to roll a nat 1. And that's an 18, 24.
Okay.
And that's 9 points of damage.
You hold them at bay, and you see a few more of them seem to fall to the side and maybe start to sink a little. Let's see. Yeah, Jareth.
Where this thing burrowed into my arm, is there like a hole where it went in? Can I see a tail or?
I mean, there's a hole. It's about the size of a die, and it's not gaping. It's bleeding somewhat. You can't see a tail. It seems to have gone into your skin, and you thought you felt it moving up your arm and into the rest of your body.
So I think it's gone from the hole then.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, same thing. Moving 50 to 55 feet ahead as fast as I can.
Talia.
Yeah, I'm out of there at this point. I'm gonna use another dash to make it the last 40 feet, up the muddy banks and onto whatever nearest land is there.
Yeah, you can do so. And you can see the panicked screaming, the bloody arm that Jareth is holding up with a panicked face. And in the back, Asha, seemingly holding these things at bay. You've heard no cries from her, no shouts of pain. So far, she seems unharmed by this. David and Carrie.
I'm sorry, I was so being creeped out. I forgot it was my turn. And if there's nothing attacking them, if Ash is holding them back, she's going to dash another 40 feet towards the shore. Will that get her to shore, or she got another round?
I think one
yet?
more round will get you there.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking too. So
Asha? Oh, sorry, Carol, didn't mean to cut you off.
Just the repeat. Disengage action, move 20 feet, turn around, and take another stance.
Okay. They're going to enter your range, take an attack.
That one's a little low, so 13.
Ooh, I don't remember if their AC is 13 or 14. Oh, it's 14.
Did we start with inspiration in this game?
You did not.
Okay,
No!
sometimes you do.
Dang it.
I love how
Okay.
she laughs.
Okay. So you hit, but maybe your foot slips on mud, and you don't hit quite as hard, and they're not as stunned. Oh, geez. Yeah, those both hit for sure. And these things are going to attack you. You are going to take. I'll just go ahead and roll it because it might be lower. Okay. One. Okay, that's 16. You're going to take 14 piercing damage and 28 necrotic damage.
No friggin' way. Are you kidding me? Holy
Very
necrotic
serious.
damage.
Are you still up?
Barely.
Okay, I need you to roll 2 con saves.
Hoy vey.
These are very important con saves.
Okay, so I got a 18 on one.
Okay.
And an 18 on the other one, too.
Okay. That's good. So they're biting at you, and you feel one of them try and burrow into your skin, but you manage to shake it off. Jareth.
I'm going to keep going until I reach that shoreline that they seem to be standing on. He definitely wants out of this, and he wants out of this as fast as possible. And he's cursing the mule's name at this point.
Talia.
Yeah, now that I'm up on the shore, Talia is going to take this moment to kind of scan the area, like finally having, for her, a moment of calm, though it's not quite that for everybody else. And Talia is going to try to scan the immediate area and just make sure that there's nothing else, like right here, that we don't walk out of the water and into something else. Just going to try to look
Perception.
around. A 23 total.
You don't see anything. Nothing seems
the
dangerous. Okay,
gods.
there's a lot of stuff, but nothing seems dangerous. Immediately dangerous.
Yeah, with that, Talia's just going to stay up on the bank and out of the water, but kind of waiting for other people to help, like kind of pull people out of the water and make sure everyone gets out okay.
Yeah, Carrie and David will be able to reach you this next round. It's their turn.
Will I have to dash to reach? Or can I, is it only 40 feet? Or no, only 20 feet? What do you think?
I'd say you could probably make it in 20 feet. David certainly could. He might, seeing how close you are, like jump off and start dashing himself.
All right. By all means, let's unload David. Barely get to the shore, drop the chest, and turn around and get out my my crossbow and see if I can take a shot. Would that be allowed?
Go for it.
Cool.
See if you can save Asha.
That doesn't look too hot. That's not going to save Asha, I don't think. Dang it. That's a short bow anyway, it doesn't matter. Total of 10's not going to hit.
No, unfortunately.
Dang it.
AC here is 14.
Yeah.
Asha.
Oh, hell no. Okay, Asha, disengage action, movement 20, dash action with my bonus action for 40. So I move like 60 feet, just trying to get away from these things now that it seems that Jareth has moved far enough that maybe they won't catch up to us. And then I turn and take a stance, hopefully being able to survive this time again if they do catch up.
You see them swimming towards you. They do not reach you this round because you moved 60 feet.
Sweet mercy. The gods are kind.
Jareth, it's your turn.
Okay, he's just going to be making it for that shoreline just as fast as he can. When he gets there, he's going to be exiting the water and kind of throwing himself on the ground on his knees.
Let's see. I think you were around behind.
I believe so, yes.
So I think next round you'll make it. Talia. David is kind of, what is that? What's going on the ground next to you? And you don't see anything dangerous in the immediate vicinity.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much that she can do here. She's going to watch for Asha coming. Other than taking some quick glances around just to make sure that nothing sneaks up on them without her being aware. We'll anticipate Asha coming and just try to pull her out when she gets close enough.
Carrie, you can see that Jareth is nearing you. Panicked face, wide eyes, and not too far beyond him is Asha.
How far out is Jareth? Can you give me kind of a...
You were, I think, maybe 30 feet from the shore at this point. And Jareth is maybe 10 feet from you, I think.
Let's see. She's going to run and grab him and then look for the shore. So that she goes her 10 feet out and then 30 feet back. I think that leaves her a few feet out in the water.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're going to pull Jareth onto the shore?
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick him up and carry him.
Yeah.
So nothing's gonna hit him again anyway.
Jareth, do you resist at all? Yeah.
No, he's very concentrated on his arm.
Asha.
Just dash action to move 40 feet. And then I'm turning around. I'm praying that they don't have a dash action or something too.
So are you just dashing the once?
Let me see, that's 40 feet. I was 20 ahead of them before, so I'm 60 ahead of them now.
Are you counting half speed?
Yeah, because dash just doubles my speed because I have a 40 movement. Gosh, and if it's difficult terrain, I just move 40 normally.
Yeah.
So I move 40 feet, puts me 60 feet away from them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping they can't catch me this turn, but I'm turning.
You're in luck and they cannot catch you this turn. You're staying just ahead of them.
Oh yeah, I'm like running up. I've got like, I mean, you see multiple bites on my arms and my neck and my legs, and there's like these black lines spreading from them. I'm bleeding. I'm breathing heavily, and I'm just like, my spear's just dragging through the water behind me.
Jareth, you got hauled up, and you can see Asha holding the back line. What are you doing?
Has the barbarian returned us to shore yet?
She returned you to shore, yes.
He drops to the ground, kind of waving at her as a form of thank you, as pitiful as it might be. And he runs over to David and thrusts his forearm towards him and just points. You have to do something.
Do what? What?
You have to do something.
What am I doing?
There was a thing. Kind of stifles a vomit. A thing got into my arm, and yes, you need to do something.
No. You're an educated man. No.
Get yourself together.
No. I don't. I know. No. I make maps. I don't. No. Okay, let me look. He'll roll a medicine check. Oh wow, that's actually pretty good. He looks at your arm and goes, and he kind of pokes at it a little.
Ow.
I don't know. It's not there. If it went in, it went way in.
No, don't say that.
It's not right there anymore. There's no getting it out. I don't see it. I don't feel it.
I need to excuse
Oh
me.
dear.
He's going to throw up and kind of stagger off, fall onto the ground face first.
Okay. Talia.
Yeah, I think just gonna stay the course and do the same. Keeping watch and making sure that nothing either chases us out of the water or comes from another side.
So, Carrie, what are you doing? You're muted.
Well, that doesn't help.
No.
There's nobody left they can actually get to, is there?
Not at the moment. You think Asha, if she runs, can probably make it to shore.
Okay. In that case, golly. She's going to turn to Jareth and say, Jareth, is there anything in your box that might help?
No, but there's something in my chest.
No.
I'll be right.
You get inspiration for that pun. You get inspiration for that. That's worth it.
That was bad. Just bad. Carrie looks at him with bewilderment for a moment, and then she laughs. That was funny.
I'm glad.
Let's open it up. What can we do?
No, let's not open it up. I'd rather not. In the chest, this chest, no, there's nothing that will help. I don't think so. No, I'm afraid not. I frankly don't know what to do. Honestly, I'm a little. Yes, I'll say it. I'm scared.
Yeah, she'd heard what had gone on between him and David, so she is aware that there's something in him that I have no idea what to do. Could she maybe try a medicine check, see if she can figure out anything?
Yeah, roll it and we'll RP it next turn. Asha, you're in the water.
I ain't anymore. I'm dashing. That's 40 feet.
All right.
Yeah, I stumble onto land and I just take 5 or 6 steps and just collapse.
They are still coming. They're not gonna reach the edge of the water, but they're still coming.
What?
Still swimming towards you.
I grabbed Jareth and threw him toward them. He's already one of them. He's gonna have one of their babies. I throw him into the midst of them. No, I just keep running. I'm just stumbling, but I keep running.
Okay, which direction are you running?
Yeah, they're all shouting from the water, "We are family." Which direction am I running? Onto more land. Hopefully they can't follow if we go far enough away from the water. They're amphibian. Well, I'm not amphibian. They're waterbound in some way. Hopefully. Maybe they just move slower on land. That would be nice.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I just run past them basically. Because I guess once I get out of the water, my movement speed becomes normal.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just like suddenly I'm just like sprinting past them.
All right, Ash is
They sprout
sprinting.
wings? Hell no.
Jareth, what are you doing as Asha sprints past?
He kind of watches the monk run past and then very quickly kind of turns and looks the direction that she came from. Because if she's still running, then chances are that we're not out of danger yet. And if he sees that these things are still coming and the monk is still frightened, well, at least this time he's not the first one that's frightened. And he's going to get up from his knees and chase her.
Talia, Asha and Jareth have bolted.
Yeah, with that, Talia's going to start kind of keeping pace with them, using 40 feet worth of movement to kind of move a little bit away from the shore along with them. And then she's going to kind of turn back and watch the shore. I'm basically going to ready in action. If these things come out of the water after us, I'm going to use that action to continue dashing away another 40 feet.
Okay. That's a good idea. David, seeing Asha and Jareth both run, he's going to follow as well. He's still got his waders on. He's not real graceful. Carrie, what are you doing?
Carrie's going to she's going to grumble under her breath half a second, grab the stupid chest under one arm, grab David under the other one, and take off after that, because then her dash is going to be 80 feet.
Yeah,
so she's just like, okay, she's protecting this guy. That's what she was hired to do. This is a great adventure. She's going to get on with it.
You'll overtake David as you go, and he will not protest to being picked up and carried at all. Asha, what are you doing?
Carrie's literally the Kronk of our group. She's just like picking people up and carrying them, carrying these huge chests. Wait, whose turn is it?
Of course.
It's mine. I dash again.
All right. Ash is dashing.
And then I turn around and look to see if they actually came out of the water. Did they come out of the water?
It's their turn. They reach the edge of the water. And Asha, you're actually a little too far away to see this. Talia is watching. And Talia sees these sightless white worms with kind of a ring of teeth all the way around. And they become inching out. And they are not very slow. They are actually quite quick. So, Jareth, it's your turn. I don't know if you were looking back at all.
Oh, man.
Oh,
he's
yes,
gonna-
right. Talia, your ready to action is to run. Forgot.
He's at least going to look back just to see if he can sight the barbarian being devoured. Since she was kind enough to still have his trunk, he is afraid to kind of leave that behind. So
You look over the shoulder, and the barbarian is not being devoured. In fact, the barbarian has your employer under one arm and the trunk like this, and is at a brisk jog, like it's nobody's business.
Oh, wonderful. Calisthenics. Yes, that's a good idea. And he's going to turn and run.
Talia, it's your turn again.
Yeah, I'm just going to start with another 80 feet of movement between a dash and a move.
All right. I think between all of you booking it, you will be able to outpace these things. And so
She said, I think that means we haven't run far enough. We got to dash even more.
Okay. Until you sleep.
Haven't caught you yet.
They're revenant worms. They always know where we are. They're following us now.
They've got your scent. They've got your blood. So we'll be out of initiative order.
They have a
And
host now. They have a father.
who was fastest?
I'm going to slow down, let someone else take the lead for a second.
Who's fastest? Come on. Who's in the lead? I think it was Yasha or Asha.
Yeah, I was in the lead. No.
I mean, it's a swamp. There's nothing that's safe here. Asha, you are running. You are running for your life. And all of a sudden, you are not running. You are sinking into mud and sand.
I just accept my fate and sink. I'm just kidding. I take my spear and I like put it on top of the mud, so I have like a base. You know, you're supposed to take a branch and kind of like I put it like halfway on the land and then halfway out.
Hang on. Roll. Tell me, odds or evens?
Oh, let me guess. Let me guess. There's like a mud lamprey too that's gonna come and get me.
Odds or evens?
Both. Odds. Let's go with odds. I don't.
Okay, unfortunately it's evens, so instead of being 5 feet from the edge, you are 10 feet from the edge.
My spear's 10 feet.
So the tip of your spear can touch the edge of the
What if I lean?
the actual mud, and it will not keep you from sinking.
Okay. Well, I lean like a cholo and extend my spear as far as I can towards the edge. And I've just got this look on my face where I've just like given up. I'm just like, this is hell. Just pull me out. I'm done.
Talia, I think you're probably the next fastest, so you would get there first. You see poor Asha, like shoulder deep in mud, spear over the head, reaching to the edge with this pathetic look on her face. Like, why? Just why?
You forgot 2 words. It's why the hell. Why the hell. That's what she's thinking. That's what the look says.
Yeah, as Talia is like sprinting behind Asha, just barely behind. Asha like slides into this mud and just starts sinking immediately. And
Yeah, so you can pull on that. That'll be a roll me strength. We can do athletics.
Can I help him?
Well, how well he rolls is going to give you advantage on getting out.
Okay.
alrighty, strength is not my strong suit. So.
Where's our brawny barbarian with the 7-foot arm reach when we need her?
She'll be there soon.
She's still jogging.
Alrighty,
It's like up to my head when she gets there.
That
She's
is
not jogging. She's dashing.
that's gonna be a 10 for me.
Wow, thanks.
so you're kind of pulling on it, but
Like
I don't know. It's a little slippery. You're not that strong.
yeah, I imagine she's more just like holding it just so Ashley doesn't sink further and just like looking back for where Carrie is so someone else can do it.
Yeah, I offered you the bladed end, hoping that Jareth would be the first one to get there.
So, Ashley, you can choose to try and make a swim check or wait for Carrie to get there.
What is the swim check? Is it dexterity?
I think it's athletics.
Oh, I have proficiency with that. But that's
It's athletics. Yeah.
Sure, let's do it. What
Okay.
things can't get possibly any worse. There's no way.
Why would you say that?
Well, I mean, I mildly regret it now because I nat 1.
Oh. So on a failed strength check, you sink 5 feet, but with a nat 1, you're going to lose the grip on that spear as well. And so you are under all the way, and you are currently drowning. What's your constitution modifier?
+2.
You have 2 rounds until you drown.
Cool, awesome. That's great.
Carrie, you've probably made it by this point, and you can see Talia holding the pointy end of a spear, and there's nothing on the other end of it.
Yes. Oh no. I'm going to set down the chest and David. I don't need to carry them over there to see what's going on. What happened? What's going on? Just looking at Talia.
And would she not have been able to see that at all?
Oh, maybe
It was,
would I
like,
have
right
seen it?
behind
Maybe.
us.
What's your passive perception?
12.
Sure, you probably saw Yasha or Asha. I keep saying Yasha.
Okay.
Probably saw her in the mud, and presumably she went under since you don't see her standing on the edge.
All right. She's going to take the spear, bury it deeply solidly in the mud so she can hang on to it. And then she's going to grab it and slide her feet down into the quick mud and swoosh them around, trying to see if she can find Asha with them.
But Asha is not at the edge. Talia would probably tell you that she was about 10 feet from the edge when she sank.
Okay. She's going, Talia, are you strong enough to hold me?
Probably not.
You have a rope?
Here. On the side of Jareth's pack, he has a rope that has a grappling hook already attached to it, and he is unwinding it from the side of the backpack as fast as he can.
And there is a tree that you can hook that around if you would like.
All right.
Yeah, he will.
So we swing it around the tree. Says, you guys hold the end of this. She takes the grappling hook in one hand and she's going in after Asha, holding the grappling hook and having the other two brace the rope so that she won't disappear out of sight.
Okay, we're going to say that took one round, and we're going to briefly
Sorry, Asha.
going to go into initiative. Carrie, this is going to be your turn.
All right.
Jump in.
So yeah, Carrie's diving in, hanging onto the grappling hook, and trying to find Asha.
I would like you to roll me a percentile to see if you can find her.
Alrighty.
Can I make myself more like opportune to find by stretching towards her?
I would assume you were already stretching.
Okay.
All right, that's going to be 64.
Excellent. You jump in to just sand and mud, and then you grab something, and it's a hand. Asha, it's your turn, and you feel a large, presumably Goliath hand grab yours.
I start to weep gently in gratitude. No, I close my arm around her arm and I just like hold on for dear life. My eyes are closed. I'm like holding my breath. I am just like, my lungs are burning. I'm just holding on for dear life. And I'll pull myself towards her.
Okay. Carrie, make an athletics check.
All right, which dice feels luckiest? Oh, yeah. That'll be a total of 23.
Carrie pulls on the rope and pulls on Asha, and both your heads break the surface. Asha, you were beginning to see spots and you could feel yourself losing consciousness, and now there is sweet, putrid swamp air filling your lungs.
And Carrie's like kind of beating Asha on the back to getting her to help her clear the uck out of her throat and her lungs.
Oh yeah, Asha retches just all over the ground. She's just puking, just sand and dirt and like gritty, nasty water, and this morning's breakfast and just everything just pouring out of her onto the ground. She's and she just like looks over at Carrie and just like slowly nods and then falls onto her side. By the gods, this place is gonna kill me.
Carrie kind of coughs and she's breathing a little bit of sand, but nothing like Asha. It's just kind of, oh, that was jolly fun. It's an adventure.
I don't put too much stock in, the consciousness of nature as a whole, but this place certainly does seem to have it out for you in particular.
Why? Just why?
I think Asha needs a rest.
And she'd look over at Carrie, who's probably smiling and just like breathing heavily, sweating, but she's enjoying it.
Oh yeah.
And she's so grateful, but at the same time, she just whispers under her breath, "Damn you and your joy." And just like falls back, heads like landing probably just her luck in her own vomit. And she's just lying there, just breathing. Oh, hell yes. Give me that long rest.
Yeah, you guys have been going for hours.
Yeah, we've made it like 3 miles.
You're exhausted. You have not gone far, but you are exhausted. You're been beaten within an inch of your lives. And roll perception.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Okay, Carrie and Asha.
We turn around and can still see it.
Let's go back. I've had enough.
Carrie and Asha, you are positive that this spot will be safe enough for a rest.
Oh, I was about to say, you see the worms moving across the ground towards you, and you get up and start running again.
We still
You're
have the
positive this will be safe enough for a rest.
Yeah, Asha doesn't move. She just falls asleep right there on the ground.
Okay, we'll take a long rest. Take a real quick, maybe 2-minute bio break, and we'll be right back.
perfect things.
Oof. Well, this is fun. I'm having fun. I don't know about the rest of them, but I am certainly having fun. To those of you watching,
Yeah.
thank you.
Fun.
Come on, Jeff. You like a game where there's
There
a
are
high
words I
chance
would
of
use to
death.
describe this.
Taylor's got it out for me. That's all I can freaking say. Is it because our names are so close? Is that why you're trying? There's going to be only one?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not quite that cruel. Is Jeremy back?
You said long rest, right?
Yes, a long rest.
Yes. All my key points are back. I'm good.
Yeah, all my nothing is back. I literally have not. I haven't been touched. Full health, full resources.
It's mildly ironic that Asha was one to say, "Yes, I've been in situations like this before. I can lead."
Yeah. Going first, I mean, there was a reason that David Michaels, noted cartographer, did not want to go first.
Oh yes, David Michaels, amazing cartographer, maker of maps. Oh, that guy is amazing. He's so useful.
Talented figure.
He's the
I wonder
most
how many
helpful
other poor
person ever.
adventuring parties have died for him. And this
So far, he's
Jack is the one who always comes out of it.
Well, they can't have all died because he's at least alive.
Yeah, probably just half the party, maybe 3 out of the 4.
Jeremy, before you add all your hit points back.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So, that thing that's inside you has some repercussions.
Really, you don't say.
Shockingly. When you take a rest, you do not gain any hit points.
Cool. I didn't really need him.
And in fact, your hit point max is reduced by 7.
You feel something tickle your insides, and it isn't laughter.
Most definitely not.
Ash is just miraculously like alive again. She's like, I feel good.
Did we already take a long rest, or are we taking a long rest?
You guys are taking a long rest at the moment. If there's anything that wants to be that needs said, that needs done,
Yeah.
have at it.
Jareth is going to try to find David. I don't know if maybe there's a fire that we managed to kind of scrape together.
Somebody can give me a survival roll to make a fire and keep warm and draw animals to you, you know.
That doesn't seem to be an issue so far. I don't know that a fire would make it worse, but you never know.
Exactly. Doesn't seem to be a problem.
So he's going to find kind of a moment with David and sit down. And a lot of the humor, the sarcasm, the apathy is somewhat gone. He's very peaked looking. His cheeks are withdrawn even more than they were before. And his eyes are kind of dark. What is it that is so damn important about this place that you decided to drag all of us here and die?
I'm a map maker.
But do you feel accomplished with what we've done so far? Is your map this big?
Well, he kind of looks around and pulls you off to the side a little bit. Goes, okay, look. It's not about the map. I mean, I'm making a map, but I'm not here for the map.
Yes.
I mean, I'm here for the map, sure, but whatever. But there's this thing with my family, and it's like this curse. And it's my wife and my daughter. And the healers, they can't do anything. The clerics, they can't do anything. But there's this one kind of shaman woman. I found her out in the middle of nowhere when you're looking for answers. She said there's a tree. She said there's a tree with flowers, and each petal, one is silver and one is gold, and one is silver and one is gold. And they're not really silver and gold. I mean, it's not a money tree, but she said if I could get one of those and bring it back and make a tea, it might fix it. And I have to. I mean, I'm also making a map, but I'm not David Michaels. I'm David Muddle. And I make maps, but they're not that good. And he kind of pulls one out, and you can see it's crudely drawn. It has, like at the beginning where you guys encountered the plant, it's got like a stick figure drawing of a plant, and it's like person eating plant bad, and it like, just almost like a dotted line of the way you've gone, and the scale is off. I mean,
it's like a child. It's like a child with a crayon on like a Happy Meal.
It looks like an 8-year-old drew it. The rest of you are not hearing this.
Jareth pulls a dagger and just very slowly slices the paper in half.
But my map.
That is not a map. That's the most awful thing that I've ever seen. Aside from the face that you're making right now. But I really, really understand what you're going through more than you might think. So let's find your magic flower then.
Really?
No more lying.
I couldn't tell anybody. I mean, who would go after a magic flower that might not even
No.
exist?
Oh, it might not exist. You know, because I'm hoping that there's more than one flower at this damn tree, because I very well may not make it back myself. So,
Well, let's go. For your sake as well.
First, I think we should sleep. All of us are damn tired, and frankly, a little disappointed in the way that things have kind of turned out. So, I'd like some sleep. Hopefully, before whatever it is that's living inside of me kills me.
Nighty night.
Yes, that's comforting. Thank you. He kind of rolls over.
Are there any other conversations happening as a sidebar to this one?
Loud snores on the other side of the campfire as Asha just dreams deeply. It's the only place she seems to be able to find any comfort right now. Unless her dreams are plagued by quick mud, trolls, plants that eat people, and white maggots that swim in the water that eat people as well.
Yeah, Thalia. Is anyone keeping watch with Thalia?
I would imagine that Carrie would keep watch at some point for a while and let Talia sleep.
David would actually keep watch too. He's feeling pretty bad about everything.
Talia seems to have sort of like an inexhaustible supply of energy, so she's certainly good for a turn at watch.
All right. Who's going first? Thalia? First watch for Thalia?
Yeah.
Your watch passes uneventfully. There's a lot of noise, a lot of maybe bird calls or something. You can hear some things moving, but nothing approaches. Nothing seems to attack. Carrie, you taking next watch?
Yep, Carrie will take the next watch.
Your watch, too, passes uneventfully, as does David's.
When Carrie goes back, goes back to bed, she's got her maul just right there where she can lay her hand on it at any moment. Practically sleeping on it.
Oh, dawn, or what passes for dawn in the middle of a swamp, comes. And it finds everyone except Jareth looking much better, and Jareth actually looking a little worse for the wear.
He's kind of shaking, and instead of packing away his bedroll this morning, he's kind of wearing it like a blanket, kind of draped over his shoulders. And he's huddled real close to the fire, just kind of staring into it, not really saying much.
After a long rest, you guys can just go back up to wherever your max was. You took average HP to start the game, I do believe. So, David, muddle, somewhat subdued. Onward we go.
Before we do, there's something that I need to tell all of you. I don't know if I'm going to make it out of this alive. And I'm not really a merchant. I Jareth Cobblestone is not my real name. And he kind of eyes David, kind of with a knowing look. Jareth Cobblestone was the name of a man who I killed for murdering a woman that I loved. We happened to look enough alike, and he had a business that was starting to do well. So I simply slipped him on, so to speak. And I've been masquerading as him ever since. So, there we have it. Someone knows what's going on. And onward we shall go.
You would see Asha walking towards you angrily, by the way, Jareth. And she would grab you by the front of the shirt and pull you up to her face and look you in the eyes and say, I did not get bit by God knows how many white maggots just for you to say that you're not going to live.
One of them embedded itself into my body. I don't know if you know what that means. I don't either, frankly, but I don't think it's probably a good thing.
Do you know where it is in your body? Can you feel or have any idea?
No, I don't know, but I think it's probably set up a permanent address.
She would look at you with just this look. Is sarcasm your only defense? I'm trying to help you.
It's a language of many that I speak.
Well, speak straight, damn it.
What are you going to do? Cut it out of me? Or get an infection?
Do you know anything about ki? The normal pulses and flowings through the body, the natural pulses.
No, I don't know anything about all of that.
Perhaps, if I knew where it was, I could stun it without doing any damage to you. Give you some more time.
Fine. He's going to kind of try to look, feel, try to stop and see if he can't determine where it could be within himself.
Roll medicine with advantage.
18.
You feel like it is somewhere maybe around your liver, below the rib cage.
I think it feels like it's down here. There's some kind of pain in this area over here.
And I'd look him in the eye and say, will you allow me to try and help?
Yes, please. That would be wonderful.
Well, then you're going to have to trust me.
Well,
And I'd grab his arm and I'd have him put it behind his head like this, so the entire side was exposed. And if you'd allow me to, I'm going to try and stunning strike that area so it doesn't do any damage to him, but that I potentially maybe stun the worm and give him some time.
Roll. Let's see what happens.
That's a nat 20. Yeah, and I liver punch.
Okay. With a nat 20, Jareth, you may feel a slight improvement. You're not sure. It at least didn't seem to make anything worse. Ouch, kitty.
Well, yeah. I would have expected that your hits were a little bit, more punchy than that. But that's, I actually feel a little better, I think. Thank you.
And I'd look at him and be like, my hits are more punchy than that. That was key. I hit a pressure point. I hit whatever was beneath your skin without hitting you. That's the way we work.
Oh, well then, I approve. Well done. Thank you. And he kind of pats her on the shoulder.
And she would just stand and walk away. You've been making a fool out of her ever since she got here. She does not like you, but she does not want you to die.
Watching all of
You
that.
guys are down.
Oh, go ahead. Carrie wants to ask one thing of Jareth first, and that is, well, what is your real name?
Well, it's been some time since I've used it, actually, but it's Minderival. It's a little hard on the tongue for non-elves, but you can continue to call me Jareth if you wish.
All right. I wanted to know, and if we should lose you, who to look for, who to tell or something.
Oh, I don't think you'll find anyone that recognizes that name.
Mm. All right. So she starts packing all her stuff up, and she goes, "Do you really need that chest? It is awkward."
No, of course not. And he's going to go over to it and open it. He's going to pull out a few things and kind of toss them into the soggy ground on either side of the chest. He's going to pull out a letter of introduction, kind of rolled up from his guild. And he's going to stuff that into his pocket. Tosses out an abacus, navigator's tools, a couple of outfits that are fine clothing.
Carrie kind of laughs, seeing all these things she's been carrying around for him.
Then he kind of reaches down inside the chest and opens up a false bottom that's hidden in it. And then he's going to scoop up the gold coins that are in there and add them to the small amount that he has in his belt pouch. And 2 bags of caltrops. And he kind of weighs them for a moment, throws one in the mud, and ties the other one to his belt.
Carrie's like, I think maybe we could use that. She's going to take the one he threw and hook it on her belt.
Welcome to it. All right, I'm ready to go, I suppose.
Onward then? Onward. Yes. Asha, my dear, will you be leading the way this time?
She would slowly nod hesitantly, but like firmly. But then she'd look at him and say, "So do you have the map then? How far have we come?"
We've come about a day's journey.
That's pretty vague, David Michaels.
How insightful. Our day's worth of travel has brought us a day in. Thank you so much.
The map. He showed me the map last night. It's going to need some revisions before it's through, but he's right. We've only made it in perhaps about 10 miles, 15 miles maybe at the most. We're getting there.
And Ash would just kind of grunt and just turn and start walking again.
David,
carefully skirting around the edge of the quick mud.
David just gives Jareth this look of, oh.
Before Jareth kind of leaves him, he very, very quietly says, I wouldn't let Asher know that whatever it was that you told me last night that I won't repeat. I think you should probably keep that to yourself.
I agree. That one frightens me a bit. Onward!
Yes. Carrie's going to walk up front with Asha. She's just kind of like, she figures Asha keeps getting the brunt of everything, and maybe the two of them would handle it more better than one. Besides, Asha's having all the fun.
Oh yes, fun, dying, synonymous, I would say. I'm good for however long we want to go.
I'm just trying to get a feel. This is kind of a almost plug-and-play adventure where I got all different parts that I can throw at you. Trying to decide what we're gonna do. All right, let's keep going.
More white worms. More white worms.
They're coming for you this time, Asha.
Let's be honest. They were kind of always coming for me. So
So what happens when you go in front? This is why David Michaels, noted cartographer, does not go first.
yeah, this muddle better not tell me what his real name is, or that he's the map is gone too. Ash has almost died 4 times. She's not having it anymore.
All right. You all continue onwards. It's kind of slow going. It's the same muddy, sloggy water, and a little bit over your boots, just depending on how big your feet are. A couple of inches here and there. And then I need everybody to roll a perception check.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. Nobody sees anything. And
What about
we
David the
continue on.
liar? Did he roll?
Oh, David. He rolled a 3 on the die.
Wow. Okay.
You guys continue on. There's a lot of flora, a lot of mud. There's this one area, it's got some purple flowers. There's some trees with almost like the Spanish moss hanging off them. You can hear some birds, and those mosquitoes are coming back again. You keep going. It's another hour or 2. And then you're getting to this area where it's more like those causeways that you saw a while back. There's deeper water. There's the shallower areas where you can kind of walk. And as you're going, someone give me nature. No, I think we left the donkey. I'm pretty sure that the mule got stuck behind because it sat down and would not get in the water.
Well, it's dead now, so yes, we left it. You say nature?
Yeah, give me nature.
Okay. Nature's actually one of my strong points, so it is an 18.
Asha and Talia, you can tell the trees are more spaced out. It's deep here. Some of the water is very deep here. It's surprising. It's almost like there's a river or part of a lake or something that's coming through. And as you're walking, there's this head that comes snaking up out of the water. And it is about 10 feet away from all of you. Roll for initiative. Man, I cannot roll for initiative tonight. Everything I've run has been like below a 12. This one was a 5. Oh, and that one. Ouch.
Ash is just not a morning person. She's kind of groggy right now.
Okay. Talia, you're the first to act as this head pops up.
Yeah, almost as quickly as she hears the water stir and this head move, her bow is already in her hand. An arrow is knocked and she's pulling it back. Well, a 14.
I should probably have the stats up so I can look at it. It'd be helpful. A 14 will not hit it.
So the first arrow whizzes by, splashing into the water. second arrow, though, and this one will surely hit because it is a natural 20.
That'll hit.
How do you just do crit damage by raw, just 2 damage dice?
Yeah, double your dice.
Okay. All right. So that is going to be 16 piercing damage. As she pulls back the second arrow, taking the split second to focus and letting this thing just fly, hitting it dead on.
Jareth, it's this strange reptilian head. It has no ears, has large teeth and big yellow eyes. And it's almost hissing as it... It's your turn, Jareth.
Jareth isn't screaming. He's actually not showing much of emotion at all. The ruse is done. It's finished. He very quickly pulls his crossbow and levels it in the direction of this thing and is going to fire. A 23.
That'll hit.
Okay, I'm assuming that sneak attack will not apply as nobody has closed with it yet.
No.
So that is going to be 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, I am going to take the dodge action.
That is a wise choice. Because after this bolt hits it, the head hisses and recoils. And as it tenses, you see another head, and another, and another, and another. Let's see, what color is everybody going to be? We'll start left to right on my screen. Carrie, that's going to hit you. Asha, that's going to miss you. That's going to miss Talia. What's your armor class, Jareth?
It's a 15. But it has disadvantage against me.
It does. Oh, that's going to be useful. Except it rolled better the second time. That's going to hurt. And it's going to hit David. Okay.
With disadvantage, don't you just take the lower roll?
Yes, it was going to hit the first time, and then it rolled higher the second time.
Oh. Didn't help.
So let's see. It's hitting Jareth and David. These 5 heads snap down. And... Ooh. Jareth, I hope you have more than 13 hit points right now, because you're taking 13 and David's taking 15.
I do when I use my reaction for Uncanny Dodge to have the damage that's incoming.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So
should
David just took 15 damage.
I take 6 or 7.
Take 6. Carrie, it's your turn.
Did I take damage?
You did not.
Oh, okay. All right. So she's actually going to just wade in with her maul, both hands, ready to go, and just smash at the body of this thing if she can.
Sure.
I mean, she's raging.
Yeah, okay.
Which does give her advantage. I better roll some more dice, because I didn't roll for that. Does raging give her advantage? It does, doesn't it?
She can do reckless attack to get advantage, but then it has advantage against her.
Yeah, are you a totem warrior barbarian? Or what kind of barbarian are you?
I am a totem warrior eagle.
Okay, so what raging does is gives you your totem power. It gives you plus to strength, and it gives you bonus to strength checks. It doesn't give you advantage.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, not unless you
Unless I do
reckless
the
attack.
reckless attack.
And I do have another question. What's your reach? Because this thing has a reach and it's not in 5 feet of you.
Well, I was. Oh, I see.
Because it's
Not
in
really.
deep water.
Oh, I did not know that. I'm sorry, I missed that.
It's in the deep water off the side of this kind of causeway that you guys have been walking on.
Gotcha. I think it has. The maul has a 5-foot reach. I don't think it's a reach weapon.
I don't think it is, so you wouldn't be able to actually hit it. Because these heads have snapped down and then snapped back up.
Can I hit a head? Or
No,
head
not unless you had a
something?
reaction.
Well, shoot. Can I go ahead then and use my short bow? Since I for some reason I thought I was closer to it.
Well, if you wanted, you could hold your action until like a head snapped down and you could try and hit it again later if you didn't want to switch to
Alright.
short bow.
How
That's
does
your
that
choice.
affect my my 2 attacks? It would only be one reaction then.
It would only be one.
Shoot. Let's see. Raging is for melee attacks, right? Can I rage? Can I rage and do a I wouldn't get rage damage, but I would be enraged. So if I was attacked, I could, Nah. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing sometimes. I'm sorry about that. I will hold my action and I will have the maul ready in case it attacks me.
Okay, hang on though, just a second. I'm suddenly realizing that I may have misread this and it doesn't actually have reach like I thought it did. No, sorry, it does. It has 10-foot reach.
Okay.
Okay. So you're holding your action.
Yeah, if it comes close enough, I'm going to use my action to smack at one of those heads. Whatever comes after me.
Okay. Asha. And anybody who wants to roll nature or history can roll at DC 8. Okay. Everybody but Jareth knows exactly what this is and exactly how dangerous it is. So, Asha, it's your turn.
Sorry, I didn't register when you said Asha. Okay. All right. So I see Jareth take one of these blows, and he is not looking good.
No, he's not.
So Asha would just kind of like look at him, look at Kara. I mean, not Kara, Carrie, standing up, like beating this Hydra. And he'd calmly walk over. She'd calmly walk over and stand between Jareth and the Hydra itself. So she's got 10 feet reach too because of her spear. And I'm going to use I'm basically going to stop right there. Well, hold on. If I've got 10 reach too, I means I can hit him from Jareth. Questions. Okay. I'll make 2 attacks with the spear. And then in the bonus action, I'll use a key point to take the dodge action.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so that's a 15. Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
Okay. Second attack is a 14. Does a 14 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the AC is 14, I do believe. Oh no, I'm sorry. This one is AC 15. The previous one was AC 14. So the 14 doesn't hit.
Oh, the 14 doesn't hit. Okay, cool.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so I'll just re-roll then because I don't know which dice was for what. Okay, so that was a 5 plus 3, 8 points of damage. And I'm standing directly in front of Jareth. So if it tries to attack him, I can block it with Sentinel. And additionally, if it does manage to hit him, Sentinel allows me to attack anyone near me who gets hit by this thing.
Okay. David is going to run. He took damage. He's going to provoke an opportunity attack as he does so, and that's going to hit. We'll see how much more damage he takes. Oh, ouch. So David is booking it out of there. He's hurt. It looks like his arm is bleeding pretty badly. But he is running.
I'd be yelling after him, "Don't go off by yourself. Are you insane?"
And he yells back at you, "I can't fight that!" And you think in your head, "About anything."
Naturally. I'd give him this look like what?
Talia.
Yeah, so Talia, kind of seeing this thing and getting a bit of an understanding for it, is a little apprehensive as well. But she is going to, with this almost like astonishing balance, is going to on one leg like strike out with her sword in one hand, and she's actually going to be able to bend over far enough to hit this thing with a lunging strike, which will increase her
Nice.
reach. And I pre-rolled my attacks, and I swear to God on my life that is another crit.
Do it. What you got?
So that is going to be 23 piercing damage. She just like reaches over on one leg, just with her arm fully extended, just like jabs the tip of her sword just right into one of these things' heads. And as she like pulls back, she's actually going to take a couple steps back away, about, let's say 20 to 30 feet back. I actually have a feat. My mobile feat prevents it from making any opportunity attacks me as long as I've hit it with an attack this turn. So just
Okay.
with this immediate, it's just astounding speed, and Grace just like bends out, stabs it, and then by the time she's retracting her arm, she's already like moved back before this thing can react to try to take a hit at her. And from that, she's going to sheath her sword again and reach for her bow. But her second attack of the turn will not hit with an 11.
Okay, so that damage combined with what was done previously is enough for one of the heads to fall off. Jareth.
So, Jareth is going to take a cue from his employer and realize that this is probably not going to work out. That they need to find a different way, or maybe just turn around and go home. He is going to rather flourishly. He is going to kind of spin away from the head that has just bitten him, using a disengage as a bonus action. And then he is going to level his crossbow at it and take a parting shot before he is using his movement to follow David. That is a 22.
That'll hit.
And in this moment, I believe that Talia is engaged with it.
I believe Talia hit and then backed up.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I hit it with a lunge, but the lunge didn't actually move me next to it anyways. But yeah, I hit it and then pieced out. I'm like 30 feet back now.
Okay. So then it will be only 5 points of damage.
Okay. So let's see. Ash is there. And Carrie's there. Right?
I have dodge action. Just saying. Just so it's aware.
Okay. So we'll roll the first head attack on you first.
And I get to attack it with... Oh, no, never mind, because it's not moving into my space. But, okay, anyways.
Okay, so you are lucky because the one was a 19 on the die and the other was a 4. So that's going to
Great.
miss you.
Good luck. Yes.
Second one. Ooh. But an 18 hits.
I guess so.
Okay, so for that one, you're going to take 11 piercing damage.
That ain't nothing.
And the next... Let's see. Have you hit it? You hit it with a spear, right?
Yeah, I hit it.
I'm going to say 3 of the attacks are going to hit you.
Oh,
you
good. Yes, bring it on.
Oh, you are lucky because one of those was a natural 20.
That's why I take the dodge action.
The other one still hits you,
Okay, good. At least it's not nat 20.
but for only 9 damage.
Okay, cool. Only 20. Yeah, only. Sweet.
Okay, and then 2 of the heads are going to attempt and hit Carrie. One of those is definitely a hit, and the other is a 16, which I think will actually hit as well.
Okay. Before we go any further, I am holding an action to attack, a radiant action.
Absolutely. Hit one of those heads.
Okay. Let's see. If I can add, we'll be okay. That will be. What did you say the AC was?
AC is
well,
15.
it is 15. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's 8 plus 7.
Mhm.
And that will be 6 points of damage to one of the heads.
You said 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it hit her once, right?
Well, I
actually-
act before it
hang
does.
on.
Right? With
Yeah,
the ready
this is
action.
her readied action, and then we'll resolve the hit against her, and then we'll resolve your sentinel attack as it hits
Okay.
her.
Yeah, cool.
And then it'll be my turn.
Yes, so there's going to be 2 hits. Did I already give you the damage for both of those, Carrie?
No.
Okay. The first one is going to be 15, and the second one is going to be 7. That's piercing damage.
She's going to say, jolly good.
And now, Asha,
Okay, so
You
I
get
got a
your
17 on the die, so that's a 23.
that'll hit.
And that's going to be 5 plus 3, 8 points of damage. But I'm also going to use a stunning strike.
Okay.
So it has to make a con save and beat my DC, which is a 15, or else it is stunned until the beginning of. Wait, let me see here and figure out like how long it lasts. See if I even actually get it, I guess. So con save from it, DC 15.
It doesn't matter. It's a natural 20.
Okay, cool. Well, it's not stunned then. So it only takes the 8 points of damage.
Okay.
That's great. Cool.
Carrie, now it's your turn.
Yes.
And
there
3 of
anything-
your party members have left you behind.
Yes, I know. Is there any way I can actually hit it with a melee attack? That's the question.
You would have to get in the water and be like swimming. I mean, this thing, it has this.
Well, now hold
long
it. If it
neck.
comes in with its head on its long neck and withdraws it, doesn't that give an opportunity attack on that head as it withdraws?
I don't think it gets
Says
an
that-
opportunity attack.
No,
It's
because
considered a
the-
reach
No,
weapon.
The creature hasn't moved away from your
Okay.
space. Like it's the
I just
actual
wanna find
creature
out.
has to move.
So you
So-
can hold your action again, or you can try and use a bow.
It won't have opportunity against me though if I back up a bit.
It will.
It will because of the reach. All right, then what? Oh shoot! Trying to figure out how this works. It gets a little confusing with all the. If I do go into rage this time, don't get.
All right, you got to decide, or you just got to hold your turn.
Okay, real quick. I'm going to rage, and I'm
Okay.
going to take my bow out
Okay.
and take a couple of shots at it with the bow. I won't get any special deals for raging with the bow. I understand that.
I'm going to go ahead and rule it because you are raging as your bonus action and you're switching weapons. You can only have time to get 1 shot off in this turn.
Okay. Oh, that's brilliant. It's a nat 1.
Oh,
I rolled a 1 for that and for damage. It's just not going to happen this turn, is it?
no, it just goes way wide. It almost hits Asha, actually. You're kind of sliding as
But-
you're backing up.
Okay, well, what I do have, though, is if I am raging, I can then because I'm in the primal path of the eagle, I can use the dash action as a bonus action.
You already used your
we
bonus
already
action
used-
to rage.
Going to rage. They do have disadvantage on opportunity attacks or rolls against me,
Okay, so you
and
can.
I will leave.
Carol, technically you were already raging because you raged last turn, and it lasts for a certain number of rounds,
Well,
so you should
no,
still
I
be
didn't-
raging.
Well,
I don't think she
decided
raged
not
last
to.
turn.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, I thought she
I
said
was
she did.
going to, and I thought I could hit it, but then when I realized that it was out of reach, I redid my whole turn.
Okay, never mind then. That's fine.
So I was not raging.
So you back up and one of the heads swoops down, but it just misses you. Asha, it's your turn. You are solo against a Hydra.
Oh, I got this. No, I'm running. Okay, I take I disengage and I move 40 feet out of there.
All right.
Come on. Yeah.
David is also moving, and this thing is going to be following. So I'm going to need a skill challenge escape plan. You guys are doing a chase scene, and I need everybody to justify what skill they're going to use. All right? You can only use one once, so if you use athletics, the next person can't use athletics. So we're going to start with Talia. How are you
I am going to
escaping
go
this?
for kind of tying in her speed and her dexterity. I'm going to go for acrobatics.
Okay.
Basically just using her. I know. I see all the monks and the rogues give out their size. I'm just she's quick, even quicker than most. Basically, just being able to dodge around trees, make it over slower terrain faster, and just all out being quick. Just trying to get out of this thing's path, hoping that it's big and slow. Ooh, and that's 18 acrobatics.
All right, we have one success with acrobatics. Jareth, you see Talia nimbly moving among the trees, outpacing everyone.
Jareth is going to take the opportunity of there being more than one choice, and he is going to begin using cover as best he can, going stealth. For only a total of 11, though.
All right, so they have one success and one fail. Carrie.
Carrie is she's going to use her big size and her loud booming voice and just scream at this thing, trying to intimidate it.
Please roll that. Please intimidate the Hydra.
Let's see what she. I just dropped it on the floor. Got too excited. Holy crap! I got in that one.
Oh no!
My dice have turned on me. It's even the other dice. Okay, it's a different dice next time.
So Carrie turns to kind of roar at this Hydra and just comes out as,
I get +4 to that, by the way.
Okay.
I guess Hydras are hard to intimidate.
You guys. It has caught back up. We'll say with Carrie. We've just had the critical fail is 2 fails, so you've had 3 fails in a row. It's caught back up. Carrie, it's going to be attacking you.
Makes sense.
20 to hit. A 16 to hit.
Ouch.
A miss. Ooh, a 26 to hit.
Yay.
And a miss.
Oh my gosh.
So it's what?
This
3
doesn't look
hits?
too good.
At least.
I was too scared to count.
Yeah, I think that was. Dang, I just forgot. 3 hits, yeah. Because I rolled 2 5s as the misses. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 29. You're raging, so that's halved. So you're going to take, 18? That's not, no, sorry, 14. Get my brain doing math, mental math. It's not my strong suit. So you're going to take 14 points of piercing damage as 3 of the heads bite down on you.
Oh, that keeps me enraged. It's just like, oh, golly, jolly good fun. Let's get this over with. Yeah. Do we have options then to attack this thing in our skill challenge, run away, fight?
Well, Carrie, it's your turn. If you would like to disengage and run, we can attempt another skill challenge. But at the moment, you failed that first one.
I think she is going to, in her rage, attempt to disengage and use her, what was it, dash skill that she gets to use to get in her bonus action and get 80 feet away from this thing.
That's a good move. All right. David is dashing. Everyone's dashing, I presume. No one's standing to fight it?
No, Asha stops. No, just kidding. Yeah, she's running.
All right. We're going to try the escape scene once more. Talia, what are you using? And you cannot use something you have already tried. So acrobatics is off the table.
Oh dang!
Oh, you didn't think it was going to be just as easy the second time.
You can hope. I'm gonna go for survival actually. Basically, like, this thing is huge, I'm guessing, like much bigger than she is. So like trying to find a pathway that it's harder for something big to make it through, like ditches or small spaces, just trying to work through things like that. And that's a 22.
All right. We have one success. Jareth, you can retry skills that were failed.
I went ahead and rolled a different. I went for acrobatics this time.
Okay.
And as long as a different person can attempt it.
Yes, because that was failed. If it had been a success, no, it's off the table for the whole party.
Oh, okay. His acrobatics, I believe, was successful last time.
No, wait, yes, it was. I'm sorry, you're right.
Okay.
I was thinking athletics.
Then I will go ahead and attempt stealth again. My modifier is the same.
Okay.
And it was a 19 total. So again, kind of trying to stay in the shadow of most of these trees, use the cover that their canopies kind of provide to stay out of this thing's immediate gaze.
Okay, with 2 successes. Carrie, what are you trying this time? You could try intimidation again.
No, I don't
If you
think
really
I
wanted.
Although I might at some point. No, athletics is still on the table, right?
Athletics on the table.
Yeah, athletics. I should have probably done that last time. I was trying to be fancy. Well, I'm glad I didn't waste my roll of 1 on that. Okay, that's probably not going to work anyway because that's a total of 9. Is that right? No, that's not right. 7 and 5. I can't add. It's still 12. It's not going to go
That's not
anywhere.
enough. Okay, so that's a fail with 2 successes and 1 failure. Asha.
At least it wasn't a 1.
It wasn't a 1.
Wow, it all comes down to me. Okay. Well, acrobatics is off the table. Stealth was failed, right? So I can do stealth.
You can try stealth. Wait, no, he just did stealth, right?
Oh, you just did stealth. That's right. And then you took my survival, which is my other best one. And athletics is gone.
Well, because she failed athletics, you can attempt it.
Strangely enough, I think I'm going to go with nature because nature is higher than that.
Okay. Explain to me nature.
I think that Asha would be able to use nature because, I mean, like I said earlier, she knows how to live in this area, but also she's looking for, like, she's looking at that surroundings, the environment, and she's looking for, like, places that, like, you wouldn't even consider running through. Like, for example, like causeways that are just barely under the water, like very shallow, that maybe would give her like a shortcut or something they wouldn't have seen before. Or maybe like a type of plant that grabs onto things that you run through. Like, she's trying to like lead them on a path that'll benefit them most.
Okay, roll it.
And that is a nat 20.
As you weave your way through, splashing, darting, finding the best possible route, you eventually get and lead the party through an opening that's too narrow for the Hydra to follow. You've picked out just the right spot. It's too sheer of a cliff, it can't climb it, and you can hear it bellowing behind you as it fades in the distance. Well survived, everyone.
Survived.
You're
we step out of that thing with like 70 points of damage between all of us. Yeah, survived. Good night's rest. Long rest gone.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
David is. Oh, that was big. I didn't know there was one of those in here. I'll have to put that on the map. Don't go here. Death.
I think at this point, all of us are looking at him like, "Are you serious?"
I dare say that no one is going to be coming here for vacation. I don't think they're going to develop this place. I don't know that there are anything living or dead, animal or plant, that would be worth continuing on.
You don't think anything?
Several of us are going to die if we stay out here looking for whatever it is that we're out here for.
But we have to. We have to keep going onward. We're going onward,
And
right?
Why is it that we have to? As far as I'm aware, we don't have to do anything, particularly if it involves me dying, which I'm not too fond of the idea of.
No, we're just charting uncharted territory, and...
David, you need to tell them.
Oh, no, I really don't.
Then shall I?
Tell who? Tell us what?
No. Don't.
Right about then, Carrie goes and stands up over David and looks at him, and she's like, "It's been jolly good fun, but I think it is a little hard on some people. And I think whatever this is, you need to tell us." Actually, she'd like to intimidate David.
Go ahead.
Oh. That is going to actually be an 18 total.
18 intimidation. And everyone is rolling perception.
Oh yeah, perception.
Let's see what David rolls. So, shockingly, David, in spite of being somewhat surrounded and rather at a loss for words, Carrie, he looks to you and he looks past you, and his eyes grow big. And he reaches out his hand to your shoulder, Jareth. Goes, look.
What? He's going to turn around and look.
You see in the distance, maybe 500 feet, a tree with flowers, and the petals appear to alternate silver and gold.
Oh, I'll be damned. Okay. David? Onward.
And, hey, what's the story here?
You see that? Point.
Yeah.
No, not the dead tree stump. To the right.
Oh, that flowering tree.
Yes.
Yes.
Apparently, that is what David has come here for. He can't draw a map any better than the rest of us can stay alive here. And that flower right there is the reason that we have come on this God's forsaken adventure to make some kind of hopeful medicine that will save his wife and child. Maybe, if I'm lucky, maybe it can undo whatever's been done to me, if he kind of holds a hand up towards Asha, if it hasn't already been taken care of. Again, much appreciated. So, that thing right there, that stupid, ridiculous little flower that's growing on that tree right there, that's what we need. That's what we came here for. And once we get that, we can go home. Yes? He kind of turns towards David.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. Yes, wonderful.
So we need to survive getting to the tree. Whatever's going to happen when we get there, because something that valuable is likely to be protected, and then all the way back out again. We have to go back out again anyway. What do you guys think? It would
We're
be
so close. We have to go.
Yeah.
Well, now
Something
that
so beautiful and precious in a place like this, I don't trust it.
I can't say that I trust it much either, but it seems
I'll
to
go
be very
myself.
valuable. Oh, you
I'll
can't
go
do
myself.
that. You hired us to help, to protect you.
And how about this? You all stay here. I will accompany David to the tree. We will retrieve the flowers, and we will return to you.
If something sneezes on you, I think you're gone. You don't look too good.
No, you're right. I don't feel very well, but I'm going to likely die regardless. So,
Well, you can't be counting on that.
counting on? No, I'm not counting on it, dear. I'm just a realist.
Well, if you're dead, you're not getting any flowers anyway.
Very true.
Well, that seems a little pointless.
All right. So
I'll
the
go.
barbarians in.
I'm going. I'm so close.
Oh, we're here. It's an adventure. Let's go. You know you want to. Come on. It'll be fun.
Ash's just looking at Carrie like, are you serious? She's like bleeding from multiple like Hydra bites all over her body. She's like, just looks like she's sweating from the sprint that we just had. She's like, and then she just looks at the two of them and just shakes her head and just like shrugs. Well, lead on then.
They'll need someone that can reach the flower anyway.
David Michaels, go ahead, lead us.
Onward.
I for one will choose life. I'll watch you from here. If something
Yes, of
happens, I'll have
course.
my bow.
Stay here with Jareth.
Oh, no. I think I really should go.
Are you sure? You really don't look well.
Yes, I have. I'll have to thank you for that later.
Onward.
Very well. I will stay here and try to cover you with my bow. He will unsling his crossbow and load it.
David will start walking. He's going in the lead towards that tree.
I'm going to regret this, but I follow with my spear out. I know it, but I can't meta this. There's something that's going to happen.
Right. And I've got my maul out in both hands. She's just ready.
You reach the tree unmolested. There doesn't seem to be any sign of creatures, of people, of guardians, whatever it was you were afraid of so far. There's been nothing. It's kind of like a magnolia tree. It's got thick branches that curve and snake and these broad leaves. But the flowers are far more delicate than the flowers on a magnolia. And the alternating petals gently fold over. Carrie, my dear, I don't think I can reach those. Could you perhaps take a few?
How many do you need?
2, for sure. I don't know if we need more.
She actually she bends over, holds her maul in one hand, and basically picks him up with the other hand and starts to lift him up so he can grab the flowers.
And you see him
'Cause-
take a somehow unbroken glass jar. He unwraps it very carefully. It has been, I mean, when he pulls it out, it's like this big, but it's actually a little jar that's about this big from his pack. And he unscrews it and places 3 flowers in the jar and screws the lid back on. Wraps it carefully, puts it back in his pack.
And Carrie rather quickly then gets him on the ground and gets prepared just in case. It just seems awfully easy so far.
David, too, is on edge. You can tell he feels unnerved.
Just like, go. Let's get out of here.
Onward? We go home?
Yeah. Let's get back to that too and get home.
You return to the other 2. No issues. I have them. I have the flowers. Should we make camp? Do you want a tea right now? I'm not very good with tea, but
You know the recipe, whatever it is that you need to do.
she wasn't terribly specific on that part.
Okay. What the hell? Let's try it. Let's do it. That way you know at least what you're bringing back to your family.
Do you guys make a camp? Do you make a fire?
Earth is game.
Asha?
Asha's mildly terrified. This is way too easy. Like, there is some ish going down here. We're all tripping on swamp water. There's something going on. So she's like standing, like everyone else is kind of maybe sitting around the fire, and she's just standing off by herself with like her spear just like gripped white knuckled in 2 hands. Like something is wrong and she can't put her finger on it.
And Carrie may not be the most intelligent or the wisest, but she's not exactly stupid. And this was too easy. This was too important, too big, and too easy. After everything that's been thrown at them, she's standing on the edge of the clearing with the maul in both of her hands, and she's just waiting to see what happens.
David, after some help building a small fire, would boil water and carefully place one of the flowers in it. Let it steep. He hands it to you. And Jareth, it is a breath of fresh air. It's the best thing you've ever smelled. Like it doesn't belong here. The water is glimmering, slight metallic.
And it's, even though it's the best thing that he's ever smelled, it's actually somewhat familiar to him as he reaches into the folds of his outer layers and pulls out a small decorative glass vial. It looks like a perfume bottle, but it's completely empty. And he kind of stares at it curiously for a minute and pulls the stopper and wavers it under his nose as he kind of inhales and then re-stops it again. I'll be damned. He kind of tucks it away.
What was that? What's going on? Are you all right?
I've smelled this before. A derivative, perhaps.
It's impossible.
It's the woman that I spoke about. This was her perfume. That's what's left of it, at least. A bit sentimental, I suppose. I've carried it with me for some time now, but it's curious. And then I'll begin drinking the tea.
Okay. A couple things are going to happen. I need you to roll a d20 and a d100.
The 20 is a 19. The percentile is 46.
You feel better. But you still have this pain. And something tells you that all the medicine in the world won't make that go away. And then it will kill you, as sure as the sun rises. You do regain any hit points that you've lost. David is staring at you anxiously. Well, did it work? How do you feel?
Well, there's good news and bad news, I am afraid. The good news is that I am feeling quite a bit refreshed, reinvigorated, but I can't quite explain why, but I don't think I'm going to survive this. Now, I don't know that the same thing that happened to me also affected your family, so it could be something entirely different. But well, that's that.
Then we should get you back as soon as possible. Find a healer.
Yes, let's try that. Why not?
All right, so he'll kind of smother the campfire and look around and onward, homeward.
Yes, let's get the hell out of this place. It's rather disturbing.
I agree. We should go.
Yes, yes. We should go. Perhaps we'll have some more fun on the way home.
I'd prefer not to go back by way of the Hydra, though.
Oh, I guess. There's bound to be other jolly adventures out here.
I'm sure there are. And undoubtedly we'll find some of them. So, which way do we go?
Well, you have the map,
Ah, but we're going a new direction now.
so we're lost.
We were always lost. Now we're just lost and on our way home instead of lost and on our way away.
But how do we know we're on our way home if we don't know which way we're going?
Oh, well that's easy. Home is east.
Which way's east?
That way.
I would just turn and look in that direction, like look back at him, and just kind of just shrug and just shake my head and start walking.
I'll follow with you.
Carrie will go as well. Kind of wondering if there was ever a sign of the yellow scarf and the dead man.
You guys never saw anything.
We are the yellow scarf and the dead man. It was an illusion.
We will be.
This entire story is an allegory of the yellow scarf and the dead man.
So
Carry
as you're
on.
walking, Asha, you're going first.
No, I let somebody else go first this time.
It must be, somebody else's turn.
I think you said I start walking.
Okay, fine. I'm in the lead. I'm being careful though.
Carrie's up there with him, but she's a little behind. She's actually kind of beat up.
You are perfectly careful.
She's being careful.
And I still die, don't I?
You see nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, we see the yellow scarf.
Out of nowhere, there's this shrieking sound.
What?
Roll perception.
It wasn't me.
Yeah, it was Jeremy screaming again. He's reverted back to his original state. That's what the freaking thing did. It made him lose track of everything that happened. Okay, I got a 23.
Jareth and Asha, there's no creature making this noise. It's best you can tell it is coming from a plant. And it is shrieking. It is shrill. It's almost about to give you a headache.
Is this mushroom? Is it perchance a mushroom?
It's not.
Oh, okay. I'm metagaming.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And
I would
with
just-
those high perceptions, you can begin to hear shouts in a language you don't understand.
Oh man, we got some Aztec stuff going on now.
Roll initiative.
Like human shouts or not humanoid shouts in a language we don't understand? Or you guys? Oh, okay.
Wow! You guys got really good initiatives. Let's see, what? 24, 22, 23, 18. And 4. Someone had to be at the bottom. Okay. So, Talia, you haven't heard the shouting yet. You just hear the shrieking. It's your turn.
Yep, that's still enough for Talia. I'm running. move and dash from the sound.
Which way?
Whichever way the sound is coming from, I run the other direction.
You're in. So the sound is coming from, say, northeast. Do you run
And I run
southeast?
southwest.
Southwest? So southwest is kind of back the way you came.
It's away from the sound. That's the way I'll go.
Okay. Asha. Oh, and how far are you moving, Talia?
Move and dash is 80 feet.
Asha hears the human shouts and kind of just like looks towards the rest of the group. Do they all look like they're gonna run?
Carrie's
Dave-
kind of looking at Asha.
David's covering his ears.
What is Jareth doing?
Whenever you look over at Jareth is shaking his head at you. Just no, we need to leave. There's a certain line that you cross from heroic to stupidity, and we've way stepped over that line. So it's time.
Yeah. Carrie's going to point not the way that Talia went, but the way they're supposed to go, but south of the Shriekers.
Okay, so you're going southeast.
Yeah, kind of circle around them or something, but to get Hopefully, east is the way home. It's the only hope she has.
Okay. Are you
Big-
moving and dashing?
The biggest issue is that Jeff Thalia is going the other way.
I know. She's gonna yell at Thalia. Thalia, you can't go back there. That's certain death. We need to go. We need to head home and just get around those things. Actually, she's not gonna leave until she gets Thalia to turn around. I guess.
I guess
Who's
I'm gonna
going?
stick. I'll stick with the group with whatever way they go. So I'm gonna ready an action to
Yeah.
dash to whichever way the
Yeah.
general group is going.
Okay. So, Asha, you're readying. Jareth, what are you doing?
Jareth is turning and making sure that David is kind of with him, and he's going to start moving to try to go around these things as fast as he can.
So, kind of southeast, still going the direction towards home?
Yeah, definitely. And I'll
Yeah, he's
glow
gonna go
icons
with
to
them.
keep up with him.
Okay. How far do you move?
I'm going to slow myself down to just keep pace with David.
Okay, his double move is 70 feet. I do believe,
I'm gonna
maybe
do that with
60.
Okay, that's
not
how
real
fast I'll go.
Yeah, I just stick with the biggest part of the group, basically.
Okay, so everybody's going southeast at a speed of about 60 feet.
Except
'Cause
Thalia.
David's not real fast, and then there's Thalia, who's going southwest, 80 feet around. Let's see. Where's my... Thalia, it's your turn again. Your friends are not following you. They're going the different direction, and they're shouting for you.
Not for long, because we gotta hidden from the shriekers too.
You'll note
Yeah,
that,
in Talia's mind, these people are. Sorry, go ahead.
because you note that you appear to be moving away from whatever sound it is, but you can still hear it very clearly.
Yeah, in Talia's mind, they're moving closer to these things, even if they're like going tangent to it, they're still in its area, and that is a bad idea. So she's basically going to continue running the direction that she's going, at her full move and dash, 80 feet. Basically just trying to lose the sound, and then once she's away from it, then she can turn back and head towards home. This noise while it's happening and draw whatever attention in this entire swamp jungle mess that a sound like that will attract.
You can still hear it quite clearly. Okay, the rest of the group, all still moving southeast? Yeah?
Yeah, I assume so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Seems to be
I
what
guess.
David thought we should do, so definitely.
At whatever speed David can make.
Okay.
Although actually, she asked David if he would like to ride again, so they can
He
move
would say
faster.
absolutely.
So now we can pick him up and we can go 80 feet. But I think we can all go 80 feet.
Okay.
Is the noise getting louder or quieter or changing for us in any way?
You've been moving away from the source. You can still hear it pretty clearly. Highs is the big group. Lows is Thalia. That's a 6. It's a low, that's Thalia. Thalia, you are stopped short by the sight of a figure. Human is the wrong word. Humanoid might even be a stretch. It's lizard-like, snake-like, dragon-like. It stands on hind legs, has something resembling arms. It's almost glowing red. You see the first one, and then another, and another, and another. They're shouting in a language you can't understand. They're surrounding you. They haven't attacked you yet. They have spears. Some of them have curved blades. They're poking at you gently with the edge of the spear, motioning for you to drop your weapons. Do you?
Wait, so they're around me? As
They
in
have
they've like appeared behind me after I've run?
They have surrounded you. So the first one came up in front of you, and then the rest quickly surrounded you. Do you drop your weapon?
So Talia's weapons are still sheathed, but she kind of puts her hands up and says, if you're after people, I know where you can get a couple more if you let me live. Can you understand me?
There's no evidence that they understand what you're saying. One of them comes up and tries to kind of put your hands behind your back. Do you resist?
How many of them are there? Ish.
Three.
Oh.
You hear more shouts, though.
So as they go to grab her, Talia's going to break and try to dash past them, or whichever one has the least amount of people in the way, or if they're kind of in a triangle, kind of dodging in just to one.
There are 3 attacks of opportunity. 15, 16, and 22 to hit. Do those all hit?
So the 15 is gonna miss.
Okay.
And I'm going to use one of my superiority die to parry another one of the attacks. I don't even need to roll because it'll give me a minimum of 1 AC, which will put me above.
Okay.
So only one of those will hit.
You take 7 slashing damage as you run.
Alrighty, and then I am going to use my action to dash, and I'm going to action surge to dash again.
You hear
in the
shouts
direction
you're
of
being chased.
the party.
Oh, so you're following the party?
Yeah.
Okay, they're chasing you. Let's see, what's your movement?
So I have 40 base move, which
40 base
for
movement.
my mobile feat. So it's 80 per round instead of normal 60.
You will outpace the ones following you. You can still hear the shrieker. You can still hear more shouts. And that's where we'll leave it. Who knows what happens? Oh, I can absolutely do that.
Hey, we are alive. It may not last long, but we finished your game alive.
It is midnight here. I have a toddler, so I can't stay up too late because she doesn't sleep in.
Right.
I would love to,
Oh my goodness.
in actuality, play it out and see what happens, but I just don't have the time.
That's okay.
Nah, we all know that I'm out of there.
Schrodinger's adventuring party.
You don't know if they're alive or dead until you check the swamp.
Yes, and by then it's changed.
So Carol, you'd asked about the yellow kerchief.
Mhm.
You guys had a couple of perception checks where nobody passed.
Gotcha. We missed it.
One of those would have sent you in that direction.
Oh well, that's
You
too
guys
bad.
thought you were, going to get ambushed. Tyler, I cannot hear you if you're talking. I don't know if that's me or you.
Can you?
So
Oh, I heard you briefly.
you came in for like a half second. Like whatever you did worked for like a second, and then you went back out.
No. Well, your mic lasted through the
It
whole
lasted
game.
the whole game. Good timing.
Yeah. If there was a time for it to stop, that is the time.
Jeez. That was
All
so
right.
much fun, Tyler. Thank you very much. Or Taylor, excuse me.
Yeah, both of us.
Too much Tyler's and
Tyler.
Taylor's going on here.
All right. Well, I'm Taylor. This is Mom's the Nerd. Let's give your outros. Say anything you like. We'll start with Carol.
I imagine that our main party managed to somehow adventure their way back to town, giving disappointing news to the woman who lost her husband, and possibly saving the wife and child of David, for which we will never get paid. And Carrie's going off, jolly good adventure. Ready for another one. That's what I imagine. I'm Carol, playing Carrie Stone Smasher, the Goliath Barbarian. I had a great time, and thank you so much, Taylor, for running this.
Thank you for playing. All right, let's see if Tyler's mic is working. Right now you're muted.
I don't think so. Oh, is it working?
Yeah.
Hey!
Yay!
Wow!
Talk to us.
Excitement. Okay. So I guess that's my cue then. So I'm Tyler from the channel On a Roll. It's RLE, like roleplay. I had tons of fun playing this game. Tons of fun playing Asha. Jeff's a bastard. Thank you everybody for playing. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Jareth, you're also a bastard. And I had a lot of fun.
All right, Jeff.
Hey, I mean, you got to do what you got to do to live in this cold, hard world. That's all I'm going to say. And I definitely survived. Nothing anyone can say will convince me otherwise that I lived. Yeah, I'm Jeff. I have a channel that I run games on called Counterbalance. Check that out if you're so inclined. I'm going to be running a Harbinger game on Wednesday, if that's your thing. Check that out. I also do a podcast with my friend Jeremy here, who is also in the game called The Dudes of Yore. So feel free to check that out as well. Yeah, first time playing under Taylor. It was a lot of fun, very fast paced, but enjoyable nonetheless. Well, thanks for having me.
And last but not least, Jeremy.
Hey everybody, I am Jeremy. I have a YouTube channel called the Erasmus Expeditions, where I run games kind of like this and all kinds of different systems and settings and whatnot. So yeah, I am, like Jeff mentioned, also part of the Dudes of Yore, found on YouTube. So yeah, go check us out, give us a like, all that kind of stuff. I had an absolute blast tonight. It was the character was ridiculous and the game was a little crazy. But I had a lot of fun. I've never played a game that was quite this. Screw you. Yeah. No, it was a very brutal game, but in a really, really entertaining way. So thank you very much for letting me play.
I will say, in my defense, for the record, on the interest post, it said "in over your head" and like high chance of death. So you guys knew what you were signing up for.
And I underestimated it entirely.
It was basically totally what I expected, and I loved it.
Well, thank you all so much for playing with you. I have actually never played with, I don't think, Jeremy or Tyler before. And I haven't run for Jeff. And Carol, it's always a pleasure to have you in a game. So thank you so much for playing. Thanks to whoever gives us a watch. I had a blast, and we'll never know if you all survived. All right, thanks everybody.